Welcome back to the Stupidest Podcast. This is your host, Justin Vandeventer, and with me is the bald, the bearded, the beautiful...
Me?
Yes.
That's Justin Rademacher. I heard bearded and beautiful. The third one threw me. I thought you were talking about our guest for a second.
Yeah, we have our first guest on the show. We have who?
Josh Danderand. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Stupidest Podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for being our first guest. We're excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We got a good one, I think, for our first one.
I think so, too.
First and last.
First and last guest.
God, I hope not. I hope it goes better than that.
This might be our last episode.
So, first off, let's explain who Josh is.
Well, you guys have heard of, if you've been listening to the podcast, you've heard Josh's name scattered throughout. He's my roommate. I live with him up in Cloquet. And we play a lot of disc golf together.
I play a lot with him now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we just got done. Yeah, we just got done playing, actually.
I've played more rounds with Danderand than probably anybody else other than you.
Yeah, that's probably true, unless you play with your coworkers. I know you play with them every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't know how often. I'm not there.
Yeah, I play with Joey quite a bit.
Oh, that's good.
But Danderand's the number 2 guy.
Yeah. Well, Josh.
He's killing it right now. Josh, you're killing it. Your distance is freaking out there, man.
Yeah, man. It just kind of happened. I've been working on my backhand distance the most.
And your forearms are killing it today.
Well, I was going to say today kind of shocked all of us.
Yeah,
including myself.
You had your longest forehand drive today. You went past the what do you call it? The garages.
I know.
That one that hit on top of the shed was freaking nuts.
Yeah, both of them. Yep.
That was insane.
But thanks, man. I appreciate the compliment because I have been working on it every day. I mean, I don't know a day that's gone by that I haven't played disc golf or practiced.
Or putted inside, like in
Exactly.
the winter, yeah.
You've definitely improved. Like, you've always been good, but I definitely could tell major improvement in the small parts of the game.
You know,
Since the last time I played with you.
I don't know how deep you want to go right away about tournaments.
Yeah, we can go as deep as you want.
So I guess just to toot my own horn to start, I did win my first tournament.
That was like not long ago.
That was 2 weeks ago. And the reason I bring it up is not to brag, but after winning that...
brag.
Okay, it's a brag.
You need to brag.
But I felt great. It felt great to win. But I was bringing it up because after that win, I just had this blast of confidence.
Well, you should. I mean, you're doing really well, man.
So the confidence, though, that was like a new fuel. Like every 2 weeks, there's something in disc golf that just gets me more excited to practice. Sometimes it's bad. Like, wow, I did so bad. I need to go practice. But this was the opposite. I did so good. I'm like, wow, what is my potential here? That confidence from that tournament and the cheering from the crowd when they announced me was so cool. And then after that, I mean... You've seen me these last 2 weeks. There's been a jump.
A big jump.
Yeah, and distance wasn't even the part I was expecting. That's just cool.
And it just came hard.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm noticing since the last time I was with you is by distance, I mean it's your shape shots. You're getting distance on your shaped shots.
Yeah, right. Instead of just straight.
Yeah, and I'm learning that you taught me today, literally, like to do a little bit of a different kind of an anizer on my forehand. And it didn't work today, but it's something I can work on. And especially if I have you as a teacher, because, oh man, if I can just replicate half of what you got, I'll be good.
Well, thanks, guys. Yep,
Yeah, you're killing it.
I just am going to play as much as I have before, so hopefully I keep getting better. We all are getting better, though.
Yeah.
All of us. I was saying that me and Roddy here played... Do you call him Roddy on the show?
Yeah, I've been called Roddy.
Okay, good. I call him Roddy, so it's going to come out naturally. I think I've called him Justin twice.
We can call him whatever. We can call him whatever we want, Josh.
Because I always go Roddy and Vandy, so for you listeners out there...
That's what we're labeled on the website. So.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember when we were talking to James one time, and you said Justin, and he's like, who's Justin?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've noticed improvement in all three of us. Me and Roddy played a tournament this last weekend, and it was a team tournament with our buddy Jarrell. And I was just telling him today, I was just thinking back on that tournament, and it was a tough course for some. It was very wooded. There's 3 courses on this big property. What
was the name of the property? Where did you guys play?
So it was in Ogilvie, Minnesota, and the property is called Chains Edge. It's kind of like Blue Ribbon Pines in that it's privately owned.
Nice.
So it's a big acreage, all woods, and the guy made his own course.
Yep. So you got to like reach out to him if you want to play, and
Exactly.
let him know when you're going to want to play. And
Yep,
Cost?
$5.
yeah, $5. Yep.
Oh, that
Or
ain't bad.
8. It's
Something like that. Yeah. We just, because actually he was gone at the time when we went there the very first time, and he told us just to leave cash under a rock.
Yep, we did.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
That's
That's what I love
anyway,
about this community, though,
Yeah.
too.
But anyway, if we had played that course 2 months ago, which we did
Yeah.
to practice,
Yep.
it kicked our butts. And now it's like these tight lines in the woods. Of course we're going to miss some.
Yeah.
Of course we're going to hit a tree. But the amount of times just severely went down.
Yeah, it
At
dropped.
this tournament, we just were so good. And I just can't wait to see the future, man.
Yeah. I was proud of all 3 of us and
Yeah.
how we played, especially like against our card mates and stuff. Like
Yep.
it was fun.
And you know what? It's June still. We started in September, man. We haven't even hit our 1-year anniversary. I think we are far beyond what I thought we could be
Well,
in
I think
September.
it helps that we have a disc golf course. Literally, I can
In
step
the
outside
backyard,
and
yeah.
I'm on a disc golf course.
That is probably the biggest advantage I've ever heard from anyone we've met in
Yep.
disc golf.
Because some people will be like, "Oh yeah, I have a hole in my yard.
Yeah.
Like, I have a basket."
Yeah, you guys have, what, 36 holes here?
Yep,
Yep.
36. But it's funny too because some people will say like, I have a home course. I try
Yeah.
to get there as much as possible. But as this sport grows, which after this last weekend, I think we're going to see another spike.
For sure.
The courses are going to get more full, but ours isn't. We're always going to have an empty course to play at whatever pace we need in practice. And it's neat, man. It's neat.
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah.
But
I'm jealous.
I was-
I'm very jealous.
Yeah, but you're always welcome.
I know.
I was going to say, I know you said you were like tooting your own horn, but I've played these tournaments. And for those of you that have not played a disc golf tournament, even MA3, which is like the lowest division you can be in, they're tough to win. So you should toot your own horn because the best I think I've done on a tournament is 4th. And I think I'm decent, but I've only gotten 4th on a tournament.
So when you guys get to these tournaments and you guys tell these guys that you've only been playing for, what, 6 months, 7 months?
Oh,
What do they say?
It depends on who we're playing with.
yeah.
When we're playing with the other MA3s, some are impressed. But some MA3s like us have started around the same time, so it's not as impressive. It's like League. When we play League, those are with way better players than us. MA1s and Open Division. They're the ones that are most impressed, actually. And they're the ones that are really good, but they see the potential.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means
That's really cool.
Yeah, we
That's-
can be
that's
there
good.
someday, I think, because they're just like, wait, you've only been playing since September? Like,
But again, it comes down to having the course at the house.
yeah.
It helps.
We've been playing since September, but other people who maybe started in September haven't played as much as us.
Well, they probably have only played like a third, because how often, like, if you don't, like, if we just go based off how many times we've played outside of the house course.
Nothing compared to it.
Exactly. Like, we would maybe go out once a week, maybe twice a week.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
That's different than every day.
Yep, and this course isn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
We've
nope.
got it forever.
And we can change it up.
Forever.
We can change it up if we need to. Like, if we need to make it a little more difficult, we can. If we need to make longer holes, we can. Like, we can do kind of whatever we want to do.
I like that we have extra baskets even too,
Yeah.
because that little approach practice that we created. That's just another thing we can do in this property because it's so big.
Yeah, just have the baskets like 100, 150 feet, 200.
Well, 100, then we did 120, just that small increment, 130. Do like 4 rounds each of just approaches, as close as you can get. And it shows. It
Yeah.
shows when you get to the tournament.
Yeah.
Get that muscle memory.
Just think how you guys started too. Just going to that auction or garage sale or whatever, and you
Yeah,
found the
dude.
baskets. Like, this would be a fun yard game. Now look
Yep.
at it.
Have you guys told that origin story yet?
No,
I don't think we have.
I don't think so either.
You tell it.
Okay, this is how we even started disc golf. Me and my wife, Chantel, who is also, of course, she lives here.
She lives down the road.
Anyway,
They keep her in their closet and let her out every once in a while.
her and I were in Little Falls where her parents live, and we were at an estate sale just for fun. And this guy had 5 baskets for sale for way cheap. And it was $100.
Yeah, $100 for 5 baskets.
Yeah, and
Hey, you'll never find that again.
no, and it's funny because we had no desire to become disc golfers or even really to play it. The desire was to get those 5 baskets because we have a big property, put them up, and then that's another fun yard game because we play bottle bash, we play football catch, we did play frisbee pig way before disc golf. We were throwing frisbees at the basketball hoop. That was super fun. And then, of course, we have board games, all the video games. We're just a gaming household between me and my wife and Roddy. We love games.
Well, because at that time, that's what we did. I think at that point is when we just got internet, was when we got the baskets. And we were just playing games all the time, every night.
Yep. So the disc golf started only because it's another fun thing to do at the house. And we thought it'd be really fun to have guests over and play some disc golf when the weather's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the baskets, we bring them home. Roddy sees them and we're like, oh, sweet. And he had the same thought, oh, cool, another game. He had a few discs that he had gotten years before. And then when we got the baskets, the guy who sold them to us gave us all of his discs. Just starter discs, but a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we just went out and threw and had no clue what we were doing. So we played a round that first night and we're like, this is neat. Played around the next night. Oh, this is cool. And then I just casually went on YouTube because I'm like, how do you putt? Because I thought at the time, I know how to throw a frisbee. Well, I didn't.
And then he got sucked in.
But when I go on YouTube and then you see all the content, it's like, what?
It's mind-boggling.
Okay, this is a thing. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know there was pros. I didn't know people were making tip videos. And so it started with just, how do I putt better?
And some of the videos were just funny. It was just fun to watch.
For sure,
They're just entertainment.
And you know what's really funny, dude? I still, every day I go on YouTube and just type in disc golf, just like I did on day one, and just see what's new content. But it's really funny because I'll come across those first videos. I remember the first night I saw a video for beginning disc golfers, and it was by Nate Sexton. And watching that video, Nate Sexton could have been some guy downtown.
Some nobody.
Yeah.
Who knows who this weirdo is? And now it's like, oh my gosh, I watched a Nate Sexton video. I didn't even realize it was Nate Sexton. And it's really crazy. The next video I watched was the forehand because I was like, how do people do that? And that was Jeremy Colling.
Yeah.
Big Germ. And it's like, I'm watching these people. I have no clue.
So you started your YouTube videos with 2 of the greatest?
Yep.
That are playing right now?
And you just had no clue.
Yeah.
Just pure accident of I'm falling to really, really, really good guys.
Yep.
I think this has been the coolest journey. This was unexpected. I mean, obviously, we're going to get into music later, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's the topic of today.
If you haven't noticed.
Yep, we haven't gotten to the topic. I mean, we're obviously going to get there. We're going to have an hour's worth of talk about music.
Yeah. And of course, all the things we go through in life, jobs, this and that. But at 31 years old, I had no clue this was going to happen because sure, you have hobbies. I like to golf. I like to ball golf, but it wasn't like this desire.
Yeah. To get better.
I like Madden, a lot. I like video games, kind of. I like board games. I like hanging out with people, but this disc golf thing, what the heck? It's a burning desire. I dream about it. I watch it constantly and we play it constantly. This is so neat because this is going to be the rest of our lives now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to hit 40 years old because then we can play tournaments with the MA40s.
Yeah, you guys sucked me right in.
Yeah, it's...
When you guys started playing and I was, hey, we got this new game. We're getting pretty good at it. I'm like, all right. So I bought a beginner set and I just started watching videos like you were talking and I'm like, and I sucked is what really pissed me off. And I've told this again, I've never picked up a sport where I was just terrible.
Yeah, you've always been at least been able to compete a little bit.
Yeah, and then I come up here and play with you guys and I'm like, I should be able to compete with it. And I still blow nuts, but
it's cool that you got into the videos though, because that is just a testament to how amazing that community is.
Yeah.
Because you did the same thing I did. When you go to the video, you just like these strangers. And then a month later, you know all their names. You know who to follow.
Yep.
And they're nice. You feel like part of something big.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in this community is so nice too. Like I've lost a couple of discs now, and I've gotten every one of them returned.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, they'll call
Same.
you, let him, or
It's
even if they can't get
crazy.
it to you, like there's some where you'll like. I've heard of stories where they lose them in different states, and they're like, "Oh, I lost that when I was there." Like, keep it. Like
That's what happened to me.
yeah,
I have that Glow driver now. I
Yeah,
found it at
yeah.
League. I called the guy. He's like, "Hey man, I'm in the cities, and if you don't live down here, consider it a gift." And I was like, "Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's cool." And then the opposite, I've called that one guy you found that when the lake was frozen over.
yep,
Called him, and he was at the tournament that I won. I even set an alarm. This was 3 months in advance. I had texted him. He's like, "Hey, bring it to the tournament. I see you're signed up." And then I put an alarm for the day before the tournament, 3 months later, so I don't forget it. And I bring it to him, and he's like, "I haven't seen this disc in 3 months." It's just so cool.
that's a very cool story.
I lost a disc, and while I was looking for mine, I found a disc. I call up the guy, and he goes, "Oh, I'm only a block away from there." He goes, "I'll be right over." He comes over. I give him his disc. He goes, "So how'd you find it? Were you just throwing it?" I go, "No, I'm actually still looking for mine." He's like, "Sweet, I'll help you." He spent the next half hour with me, and he helped find my disc.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
That's
this
really
is just,
cool.
it's not like any other sport.
Yeah.
We talked about this during the tournament because we were having such a good time. This tournament Roddy and I played was a 3-rounder.
2-day or
Yep, 2 days, 3
This is a
rounds.
3-man?
yep,
Yeah.
triple.
The second round, we played with a card. That was probably one of my favorite cards I've ever
Yeah,
played
the
with.
second round.
Those
was-
guys were awesome. But the thing that's so great about disc golf is, yes, they're your competitors. And at a tournament, everyone's your competitor. But yet, you drain a 30-foot putt, every one of your competitors is like, "Get it! Yeah!"
Yeah,
No sport is like that.
where you're cheering.
Imagine if we're watching football. I'm a Jaguars fan, and we'll get into this later, too. If I see the Titans score a touchdown, I'm not like, "Wow, what a great pass. Good for him." No, I'm irate, dude. It's just
It has to be an amazing play.
nope,
No, not even that.
not even
Oh,
that.
I am.
Unless-
If it's an amazing play, like if this is going to be a top 10 on ESPN, I'm like, all right, I got to give it to him. That was pretty,
Nope.
that
I
was
don't even-
pretty
not
sick.
not against my team. If I'm watching the Titans on a different game, I'll be like, "Wow, that was a good play."
I was gonna
But
say
if it's against the Jags, nope.
if I have somebody in fantasy football, great, go for it. Like I'm happy that they did well. But if it's against the Rams, even if I have them in fantasy football, most likely I'm not going to start them against the Rams because I don't want to root against the Rams. Like, so there's a lot of heart in my fantasy football, which I mean that's not necessarily always smart.
All right.
Yeah, dude, it's a great sport just in the fact that
Yeah.
everybody's happy for anything positive that happens to anybody. Doesn't matter who on the card it happens to. It's just
And it trickles all the way to the top. We're talking, we are just little tiny MA3s in Minnesota.
yep.
But you watch the pros, it's the same.
Well, it was crazy because Josh, during this tournament this weekend, how long was that? 180 some feet?
It was like 147.
147 feet. He sank it from that far, just threw it, and it just chains, right? Just perfect. Everybody just exploded in excitement. Everybody was
Yeah.
excited. And
That's sick.
I mean, it was an amazing shot. I would have been excited, obviously, because I'm his friend. I'm on his team. Like, that makes sense.
Right.
But the other team was just as excited as me. Like,
Yeah, they were hugging me and like it was crazy.
yeah.
Well, that's the cool thing about like the shots are sweet to watch too.
Yeah.
That's the other great thing about disc golf, man. It doesn't matter who it is. When you see a disc fly through the woods without hitting anything, it's peaceful.
Oh yeah.
It's so silent. You can't hear it. Like, it's just this thing.
It's a work of art.
It
Yeah.
is,
Yep.
dude. It really is. Just a bunch of hippies.
Yeah. That's funny.
So you want to get in your first question?
Oh yeah, we have questions. I forgot about that. Yeah, let's get into some questions. So we're gonna do this very similar to how we normally do. We're gonna ask Josh these questions, and we're gonna see what he has to say. I tailored some of mine specifically for him since he's our guest. Then Josh is actually gonna give us questions, see if he's got any questions for us, Then we're going to get into the topic hour, where we have questions specific to a specific topic for the guest.
And once again, today's topic is music.
Music. So we're going to talk an hour about music, see what Josh has to say about it.
Around an hour.
Around an hour, yeah.
Maybe a little more, maybe a little less.
Yep. I don't have a whole lot of experience in music, so that's why I want to know about music.
I have a little bit, but not as much as our guest by any means.
I feel like that's a good way. I know this is the stupidest podcast, but I feel if we bring in people that have topics that we don't know much about, we can all learn together, right?
Absolutely.
So if you don't know anything about music, this is great for you. If you do know things about music, maybe you can critique Josh. Maybe see what...
Who thought they'd learn in the stupidest podcast?
Exactly. We're going to try it. We'll see how it goes. Again, like Josh said, this might be our last guest episode.
Maybe in 10 years of having guests, you'll change it to the smartest podcast.
That's the goal.
And 5 years, you can call it the learningest podcast.
The learningest podcast.
And Josh could be like, I started that.
Yeah.
I started that.
The average knowledge podcast.
The mediocre guys.
Okay, well, I got a question for you. Again, the first questions are just, I want to get to know Josh. I want you guys to get to know Josh. So the first part, Josh has something going on that Vandy and I don't have. He's married. So I want to know, Josh, what is the best part about being married? And what is the worst part about being married? And if Shan's listening to this, there is no worst part. Skip whenever he says skip.
It's just the worst of the best.
That's a cool question, man. That's a really cool question.
Well, I figured I'm not married. I don't know much about marriage. I mean, I know what I see from you guys, but we don't talk about it, you know?
You know, I'm guessing with all these questions, because that was really good. Props. That's an amazing question.
Well,
I thought you were going to be like, do you like tube socks or ankle socks better?
Well, I mean...
There goes your fourth question.
Yeah. Why are you reading my questions over there? Do I have a mirror behind me?
No, but anyway, regardless of the question, of course, I'm just like some dude, you know. So you ask this to someone else, who knows what the answer will be like. But for me, marriage is great. I mean, it's no different than when we were dating. But that's because me and Chantel click. I don't think we act any different towards each other since the first week of dating, you know.
Well, I've been there the whole way.
You have been. So you know, like, it's just always been Shan. Well, she's not any different and I'm not any different. And so, like, for me, this was smooth. I remember telling Matt and Gates back then and you that because this was right before we dated.
I remember, I know exactly what you're going to say.
I said, if I ask this girl out, we're probably going to get married. Because we had hung out a bunch.
That's awesome.
A lot before. We were in the St. Cloud State band together for a whole year before we even dated. And she played clarinet and I played clarinet. So it wasn't like she was just in the band somewhere. We were right next to each other. I knew her really well. And because of that year of not dating and then thinking about dating, I was like, I just know there's no reason we'd break up.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Were you attracted to her the whole time?
Not particularly at first, and it's not like a surprise to Shan. It's not like I wasn't attracted, but it wasn't like it
wasn't like a lust, like, oh, I have to have this person.
And you know, it was timing. Everything was timing. Because that year, when I first met Chantel, I was like, oh, there's a clarinet player next to me.
Yeah.
That was it. I was really into Moonlight. We had just kind of started to do some stuff, play some shows, win some battles. That's when we had Gates.
And it was kicked off firing.
It was all new, too, and fresh. I thought I'd never be in a band again.
I remember that.
So I wasn't really going after any girls that year. I was going after my goals again, because my first goal a long time ago was to make it in a band. I thought that was over. All of a sudden, it's back and better than the first. So, yeah. And then it was just a matter... Moonlight's the reason we got together.
Yeah, yep.
Because we had a battle of the bands where we had to sell tickets. And I posted, like, if anyone buys tickets, I'll personally deliver them. So I went to her house because she wanted to go. And I made true to my promise. I went and delivered. And when I got there, I was like, oh, this place is sick. Super nice here. This girl is amazing. She'll talk about anything. And she's not, well, I mean, you know her. She just didn't act like
any other girl.
There's a difference.
Fake and real.
Yeah.
And, you know, you meet a lot of...
Well, she was genuinely Shan. Like,
exactly.
she was herself, and she wasn't going to change it for you. She wasn't going to change it for anybody.
Exactly, and she already hadn't changed. That's the bigger thing. Like, if a girl's... I shouldn't even say girl, because boys are the same. So if the person you're attracted to is already fake, they're not going to become real one day. So anyway, the best part of being married, I like having someone there to be in bed with me every night. It's super comforting.
Yeah, because I'll be there for you, but minus the second half of that.
But it's nice.
You're a cuddler, don't lie.
I'll cuddle with you, but I'm not sleep. I actually, I don't know. I like sleeping by myself. Yeah, it's great when you have a girlfriend, but I like being by myself.
Well, I don't. Well, I mean, like in the summer, of course, it's hot. With
it gets hot.
But I'm talking about like, I wake up from a night terror. I'll just put my hand on her shoulder. I don't even need to snuggle. Just like, oh my gosh, she's right there.
Does that help you? Like, have you ever like been in a dream and all of a sudden you're like, because I know I've heard Shan say this before, where she's in a dream and it's kind of getting to that nightmarish part, and she's just thinking of you or just trying to move so she can get your attention, right. So that way you can like wake up and comfort her. And is that kind of what you're?
I wouldn't say so for me.
No,
I usually just get scared shitless with whatever's happening, and then I wake up, and then I'm super pumped.
That she's there.
That she's there and that I'm awake. Yeah. And that wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
And then just sharing everything. I like it. We have 2 incomes, which is nice because this house we live in is dope.
Yeah.
It's the coolest house. And I could not have done this without 2 incomes. And she couldn't have either.
And thank you for letting me be here because this is awesome.
So yeah, that's nice. And then the worst part, I don't know if there's a worst part. Because I like doing the things she likes to do. And it's always exciting, too. So, like, she comes to Disc Golf League with me. She goes to our concerts. When she conducts Cloquet Community Band, I go to her concerts. And I like that. I don't have a lot of classical music left in my life, but she does. So, nice. I get to go see some classical music. When she coaches softball, it's fun. I mean, any sort of softball or baseball games is fun to go to.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. And we don't really argue. We've been together. We've been married for 2.5 years, but we dated for 6 years before that. So 8.5 years. We haven't had like a fight.
I don't think I've ever seen them fight.
I've never seen you guys fight.
There's never anything to fight about.
No. Right. No, you don't have to answer the worst part. I was just trying to.
If there was one, I would say it. But that's the other thing. If you ask someone else, they might give you way different answers.
They might give an answer that might cause them to not be married anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, you kind of answered the question I was going to ask, so I'm going to switch this one up now. Do you think you'll ever have kids?
I doubt it.
Do you want kids?
No. Just because, I don't know. I think I know what it is to want something.
You want to be better at disc golf, and you don't want kids.
Exactly. My thing about kids, I think I probably want kids more than Chantel, but I don't really want kids. So if that says anything.
So the only way you would have kids is if you could train them to be the best disc golfer ever.
Yeah.
Nah.
No?
No, dude, I don't know. I feel like I'm 31, but I swear I still have that old me in my brain. Because I can feel like I'm 12 at any time. I mean, when the Jaguars are on TV, I'm a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, I'm playing disc golf, I'm a 12-year-old. Like, I feel, when I'm in Moonlight rocking out, I'm a 12-year-old. Like, and because of that, it's like, I think if I were to have kids, and Vandy, you have a kid, so I mean, you can counter this, but I feel like I'd have to give up some of my 12-year-old wants. And that's selfish. So it's a selfish answer, and I'm aware that it's selfish. And Chantel's answers are pretty selfish as well, and she's aware that they're selfish, but she likes how much fun we have.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's a tough question because I don't want to offend anyone, but the extra money is nice too, just because I know other people with kids.
Yeah.
Money goes towards kids. I probably wouldn't get to buy as many discs or buy a brand new grill. It'd be tighter. So,
I thought kids were free. I didn't think you had to spend anything on them.
You were thinking
I thought
you can make them,
there, buddy.
I thought
you can make them for free.
I thought you just filled their saucer bowl full of milk and leave them be. Maybe clean out their litter box every now and then. Is that not?
But who knows? I can't imagine having the desire later. But if we do, we do. I don't know for her either. The good news is she's 5.5 years younger than me, so we have time to consider it. We have time to get established financially if we want to go down that route.
Right.
And then,
I just never heard you guys talk about it or anything like that, so I didn't know.
And then there's, of course, the old cliche, but it's kind of true for us. I'm not a huge fan of the state of the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't really want to bring in a human that's going to get molded
into this society.
Because the parents can definitely mold, but that's only a part of what is molding the child.
Yeah, you're just putting the base down.
They're at school, they're with their friends, and they're on their phones.
The phones are
the screens, and it's hard when you're a sponge for a brain to know the difference between what you see on the screen and what's not on the screen.
Well, you're a teacher too, so you get to see it during school.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't get to see it at home, but you get to see it at school. So you do have some sort of experience without having the experience.
Yeah. So there's just all that, So I don't know. I don't think we'll have kids, but maybe we will.
Okay.
All right, this one I'm going a different direction now. This is more about like physical. So what motivates you? Because I know you go to the gym every morning. Or if not every morning, you'll skip like one a week, maybe. What motivates you at the gym? And like or you can either answer that or just what motivates you to go? Because I know you go at like 5 a.m.
Well, I don't need a motivation to go to the gym because it fits in my schedule. If I were like sleeping in every day and I didn't have to go to work, that'd be harder. I would have to find a motivation to go to the gym. But because it's so convenient, and I'm lucky, I don't need a motivation to go to the gym. Because I go to the gym, work out for an hour and a half, shower there, and then drive to work. It's cake. If I had to work out after...
Do you like showering there?
Love it.
I quit a gym because they didn't have a shower.
I love showering at the gym, bro. Yeah. Especially ours because they have private stalls.
I was going to ask that.
I've never cared about showering in public. When I went to St. Cloud State, I did the public showers and whatever. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. You're just in there getting clean. But the private ones are nice just because you can maybe soak a little longer.
Yeah, just take your
without
time.
Looking like a weirdo. But it's nice too because they're all closed. They're like their own, like a bathroom.
Oh, nice.
They have a closed door. You lock it.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I might need to go to the gym just to shower.
You know what's funny is the gym in Mora that Matt and Candace go to is not the private stalls.
Oh, really?
They're public there.
And and that's where
they shower.
Yeah, that is their shower.
So Matt's just showering with some old dudes.
Yeah.
That's
how
how
you doing?
Sure.
He likes it that way though.
Yeah.
That's how he prefers it.
But then motivation for the gym, though, like the reason I want to go is because I just want to be ripped, man. I mean, I was short and fat all through elementary. I finally got thin like in 10th grade, but just thin. And then I was thin for a while. Then I joined the outlet and got super thin, like a grossy.
A grossy.
And then, when I went to St. Cloud State, I was hitting the gym, and I was okay, but I didn't have the diet involved. And then when I graduated college, that's a million years later, I got up to the biggest weight I've ever been, which is 175 for me. But I'm 5'4" for those who can't see me. So 175 at 5'4", not good. Looked like a grapefruit.
A walking grapefruit.
Yeah. So yeah, when I got my job here, I was at 175, and I'm like, nope. But I needed health insurance so I could go to the gym for free, and so I waited like 6 months, got the health insurance, and then boom,
Yeah, because then
I haven't stopped going to the gym in 4 years.
So so they paid for your membership, but you're basically have had free gym
for 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, 3.5 because I had to do the half of no benefits first. So 3.5 years of gym.
Wow.
Yeah, and now I'm down to 135. So that's 40 pounds later in 4 years.
That's
pretty sweet.
That's incredible.
Yep, and now I just want to be.
You're killing it right now too.
Now I just want to be ripped.
Which is crazy because I feel like you've gained a lot of muscle, which weighs more. So you've lost more than that 40.
Yeah.
I'm still blown away by your percentage.
Yeah. So I'm at 17%, which...
Body fat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which seems high. However, when I got my first test, I was at 34. So I've completely split it in half in 3.5 years.
I don't think I heard you say that, 34.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, and I had gotten down 7% since the last time I checked, which was a year ago.
That's what I heard.
Yep. And I'm not going to check again until Christmas break. So
that's a good time frame.
And honestly, because I go every day and I'm going to have this gym for a long time, I'm not really in a hurry. My goal is 10 to 12% body fat.
I was expecting that. I would, when you told me you were going in, I wasn't expecting anything higher than 13.
But yeah, that's the goal, 10 to 12, and I don't care how long it takes.
You're going to get there.
Exactly, yeah.
I think my goal is 34%.
You're probably closer than you think.
To 34?
Well, you're probably less than that.
No, I know I'm going to go back up though. That's my goal. I'm going back up to 34.
Nice.
Because then in October, when we do our Sober October, then I can lose my 10 pounds, my yearly 10 pounds.
But yeah, Vandy, the diet.
That's
the kicker, because I've been working out for 3.5 years. And yeah, gaining muscle, but the definition and the body fat, that you got to do it both. Mm-hmm. You have to be...
Some people can only do one. They only have to do one. But there's a lot of people that it takes both.
Yep, and that's me.
Well, it helps. Even if it only takes one and you do both, they're both going to help.
Oh, yeah.
So... My recommendation would be
if it only takes you one and you do both, it's going to go way quicker for you.
Yeah, which is crazy because I play disc golf. That's my only real workout. But which is enough for me. But sometimes I'll watch my diet. I watch it once 1 month every year for sure. But otherwise, I just portion. I'm a portion guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been working on at least.
I'm on a diet right now. I need to lose weight big time.
Well, what's your plan? Okay. What is the
goal?
No, what's the diet? What is the?
I'm trying to keep under 2,500 calories a day, and then I cut pop. I don't drink any alcohol, obviously still, and just want to kind of cut sugars out.
That's the key right there, man.
Sugar is key.
It is the key. So I do that. I drink pop, but I drink diet, so I go the unhealthy route as far as chemicals, but at least the calories don't count.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, I just don't do carbs. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I can't.
They're pretty good. All of my debt.
Taking it away.
You take care of your debt?
100%.
All right, what's the first toy you're buying?
How much did I win?
We'll say 100 million.
Oh, okay. So the real lottery.
Yeah, the real
You're
one.
good forever.
Yeah, you're good forever.
Okay, so debt first. For all of my family and my friends. And Chantel's family. So,
and Roddy's family.
For real, though. My first thing I want to do is make sure everyone that I love can be debt-free. First of all. Because even if I don't give them extra money after, which I easily could.
Everybody should be.
Imagine just being debt free.
Yeah, everybody should be happy for that because then you everything you make at work is now going to your bank account.
Exactly. But with 100 mil, that's gonna take care of everyone's.
Yeah.
First toy though, probably. Well, I know a lot of toys.
So you're buying multiple toys. I mean, if I won that much money, I'm probably going to buy 2 or 3.
Well, it's I want some upgrades. I want a truck, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And not just for fun, because they're they are fun to drive. But there's been so many times now that we live here where we've asked my friend who's the gym teacher at the school to do us favors because he has a truck. Like probably 15 different times.
So what kind of truck do you want?
I want an F-150.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a Ford versus Chevy. It's not like I don't like Chevys. Just my dad's always had an F-150, and that truck's always been awesome. So that's just what I want.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I definitely want some more four-wheelers. Be cool to get a side-by-side, maybe a four-seater, and a golf cart.
Yeah.
Just toys for the house, man. Like,
are you doing T-pads at that point?
Ha! Absolutely.
Heck yeah, he is, because then he can have somebody else mow the lawn.
Oh, dude, I just thought of a different answer. Or another toy, not even toy. Land.
Ooh, good call.
But not for a new house.
Just disc golf.
I want, a disc golf course that isn't private like ours.
Yep. So you're gonna build like a
Blue Ribbon Pine.
Blue Ribbon Pine.
That'd be sweet.
That would be cool. And if you have that much money, you could probably compete with them because you can just be like, free golf, just do a big pro shop.
No, not free golf.
No?
$5.
Okay.
Think about how much money. I mean, we
That's
talked about
true.
that with the preserve.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did some rough math with the preserve because we listened to that Running It with Nate Sexton with Kale LaVisca. He said he found 1,000 discs in the first year that it was opened in the water. Wow. In the water, right?
Yep.
They dug them out. 1,000 discs. And of course, those are going back to the owners if they have whatever, and then lost and found. It's $8 to play the preserve.
Okay.
$8 times 1,000.
So that's $8,000 for only the people who lost a disc. Roddy played there and did not lose a disc. Several pros play there and don't lose discs. So just people, and those people who lost discs probably played the preserve a lot and didn't lose discs.
Yeah.
So you're talking $8,000 and you're just charging $8.
Yeah.
A disc golf course is a very lucrative idea and you do not have to charge a lot.
Well, yeah, and then if you have a pro shop, because some of them do, some of them don't. But if you have the pro shop, that's going to be another thing. Plus, I mean, we talked about this earlier, like if you have another aspect to it, there's another income that you have.
Yep.
Like
the other thing about a disc golf course, it's not maintenance like a golf course.
Yeah.
You don't need to pay a grounds crew. You don't need special lawnmowers.
You just need one or two guys to cut a lawn.
Yeah.
And one or two guys to do it once or twice a year.
Nah, more than that.
I don't think so.
No. Like the preserve and...
The preserve is different.
And Blue Ribbon.
Blue Ribbon Pine
if you want to compete with them, you're mowing once a week.
It depends on there's open fields.
Yeah.
Because think about where we just played at...
If you're in the wooded areas.
If we just played Chain's Edge, those are all trails.
And they don't have hardly any maintenance on that course.
Exactly.
Carlton.
Well, I mean, they're doing maintenance, but that's because they have so many trees.
Right.
Not to mention, do we even need to hire people? Because you and I have done course maintenance here, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I won the lottery and I was rich, I'd still be the one to do it because it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, plus then you get to literally design it exactly how you want it, and you're not having to be like telling somebody and then they do it.
They're cutting the wrong lines. They're mowing the wrong lines. They're cutting the wrong trees.
Exactly.
Why did you cut down that branch? That was part of the course.
Yeah, we needed that.
I wanted people to go under that branch.
Yeah, that was a Mando.
That's crazy.
And you just got rid of our Mando.
That's the other thing about disc golf. It's crazy how a branch can totally change a hole.
A leaf can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts how the littlest pieces are always the ones that you find with the disc.
But yeah, that's it for now for toys.
Nice. I like it.
I know you mentioned this just a little bit ago. You talked about how you like video games and how you like board games. What is your favorite of each of those?
Video game is Madden.
Yep.
Because that's the only game I play. I bought a PS4 on Black Friday.
What about like
to get Madden?
Oh yeah.
Like I don't care about other games.
That's current, right? That like with the PlayStation 4, you're just gonna do Madden.
Yep.
What about like old school video games?
Donkey Kong.
Yep.
I mean, I grew up with a Super Nintendo, and you know, if I look back at video games, that's my favorite console because of how much I enjoyed playing it through all the years and never got bored. We have it right in the other room.
Well, you have all three of them.
Yeah, and it's always fun. And then on top of that, the Donkey Kong games were my favorite. I loved the music in it so much. I loved the characters. I thought the graphics were phenomenal.
Especially for that time.
Exactly. I thought the graphics in Donkey Kong were better than Mario. Nothing against Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard... what is your favorite game?
My old school video game?
Any. I don't think we've ever even asked that question.
Oh, I like Madden, and I like Mario Kart 64.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Mario Kart on the Wii better.
Yeah, well, you're wrong, so...
You must be able to beat him on that one.
What about you?
Old school? I gotta go with... I was big into 007.
Oh, yeah, 007.
GoldenEye.
And I was actually... I don't mean to interrupt your answer, though. I thought you liked it on the GameCube better. Or do you like it on the Wii better?
Oh, you got me.
I thought...
It's the GameCube.
I thought... Yeah, I thought that's... Sorry.
My bad. Well, I'm glad you said that, because I had a brain fart. They only made the one Mario Kart for GameCube.
What's it called? Because it's
Double Dash.
Double Dash, that's what it is.
Best.
We like ended up beating the game because we just wanted to get all the stuff.
That's the only game you and I have ever played together.
All the way through.
Yep, and it was challenging.
It took us a while because we had
it was not a cakewalk.
Yeah, we had to play it for weeks.
Weeks, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, so you were saying 007?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Madden. I'm more Madden.
Yep, Madden. Just the best.
Yeah.
I mean, Madden as a franchise, we'll say, is the best.
Yes.
This newest Madden
hopefully this
was
one,
a giant fart sack.
Hopefully this next one coming up makes up for the last few years.
And if it's anything like the cover of it, then
are you looking?
Suck.
Are either of you looking into the PS5?
No.
Not really. No,
I'll get one. I know I'll get one day.
Yeah.
But not right now. There's no point.
It's pretty expensive, and the only game I'm really interested in playing is Madden.
Right.
And as soon as the majority of people get the 5, because I know a lot of people do have it, and but they're all backstocked and whatever. I feel like the PlayStation 4 games are going to go on sale, and I'm just going to be able to play all the games. And
right. I think they came out too quick.
Yeah, dude. Even my biggest gamer friends, hardcore gamers, don't have the PS5 yet because they're waiting. Because it seems like every time they release these new things, they suck. Well, because they do it too fast.
They have those bugs and all this stuff.
So now these gamers are just too smart to get it right away. They're just like, you know what? I want this system because the potential is amazing, but I want them to tweak it first.
Yep. Yeah. Well, because they usually come out with 2 or 3 versions of each console.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's always updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Well, what about your favorite board game?
Dude, I love board games. I
didn't know that about you.
They're so fun. I wish more people. Them too. I know. I wish more people loved them.
I could play board games all day.
If Matt came on, or came up here, he's not gonna play a board game with us. James, probably not. Yeah. You know,
sounds like Vandy would though.
Frick yeah, I'll play board games. I'll play anything you guys want to play. Monopoly.
I love Monopoly, but that's another game. You got to find people who actually like it. Because if someone's like, sure, let's play Monopoly, 10 minutes in, they're like, hey.
Where you be done?
Yeah. Do you want to have my properties?
I want to play the game with people who love playing it. But seriously, I like them all, man. Monopoly, I really like Yahtzee. I love Farkle.
Farkle. That's a fun one.
Dude, so fun. It's like gambling without gambling.
We used to have a family Farkle game.
What do you mean?
Like a weekly.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I thought it was a different version of Farkle for a second.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Farkle. That new game Set?
Set is, that is, Shan is, I don't know how Shan can be so good at that game. She literally, I don't know if you guys have ever played Set before, but you have 12 cards. I think it's 12 out there. Or 16. No.
12, yeah.
Yeah, 12 cards, and you just have to find a match, a set, I should say, of 3 different things or 3 of the same, or however the patterns work. She will look at it for a second and have 4 of them.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I haven't even saw one.
That's why you're perfect for this podcast.
I know. She's gonna be on the podcast in 10 years once it's the smartest podcast.
I like Nerds a lot.
Nerds is a good one.
You ever play Payday?
Uh-uh.
I have, but it's been a long time. I don't even remember how.
And this is the thing too. I just like board games so much that I like playing new ones.
Yeah.
Like if you brought that up here, I couldn't wait to learn.
You've already named 2. Like I'm like I can't wait to come back up here so we can play.
Yeah.
Like what did you say? Nerds.
Nerds. That's
a card game,
yeah.
But still,
it's like solitaire, but it's competitive.
And it's like as fast as you can possibly move your body.
Yeah. Again, that's another one that
a card game body.
Well, I mean, you're sitting, but yeah, you're going a mile a minute.
It's a physical card game.
You'll sweat.
Yeah.
I like gestures. It's like charades, but speed charades. I love categories. Love categories.
That was one of my favorites.
So much fun. I played categories. I did a little Father's Day trip to see my dad in Omaha last week, and we played categories.
Nice.
Super fun.
Dude, we need to play I love categories.
I'm down for
I like Stratego. I mean, I'm just going to list all the board games invented now.
Yep.
I can't find a favorite, man.
What about one that probably not a whole lot of people know about that we play every now and then?
Trekkin', dude.
Trekkin'.
So apparently this game is like Ticket to Ride, but we've never played Ticket to Ride.
Nope, I have not.
But apparently it's the same concept. But Trekkin' is a game based off of all the actual national parks in the country. And the board itself is a map of the country with all the national parks. And what's really great about this game is it's not super competitive, and I like it because I'm almost pretending I'm at these parks. Because you can like camp at a park, and every time you camp at a park, you get that card. And then there's a little fact about and a picture. And it's just fun. And another great thing is you don't know the winner until the very end when you count scores, but there's no way to really count scores while you're playing. You actually someone has to finish the play.
Yep.
And then you count your scores up. And then at that point, it's so nice because if you win, you're like, oh, cool, I won. And if you're lost, you're like, oh, darn. Yeah. You just didn't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just fun.
And it's real close sometimes, especially because I play the bean game. Yeah. And if you don't know what that means you're traveling to all these places just collecting all the beans, because each park has a bean on it, and you collect it, and then you get points afterwards for collecting the most yellow beans, blue beans, red beans. And then so whoever gets the most, and the second most, you get extra points that way. So I play the bean game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think I've only won the game 100% one time. But I mean,
so next time I come up here, as soon as I get here, we're doing the podcast, and then we're playing board games.
You know what we should do? Yeah? We should plan this, but for the winter.
Yeah. So
like we should plan a winter. It's snowy out. It's cold. That way we're not tempted to play disc golf, because I'd rather play disc golf. I love board games, but if it's summer, we got to go play.
Or if it's a rainy day.
Sure, but like I love the nostalgia of a winter day.
Yeah.
You get up, have breakfast.
That's the best time to play board games.
Exactly. Put your sweatpants on.
Yep.
Make some cocoa.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Yeah, and
little marshmallows in there.
Play board games all day.
We'll invite everybody listening right now. You guys are all welcome. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I'm in.
Dude, Trekkin', before we move on, is interesting because it's a board game, but there's no dice.
Yeah.
So you move by collecting cards that have numbers, so you don't actually always move. Sometimes your turn is just collecting cards.
Yep, you get 2 turns, but your turns can either move, you can buy property, or like not buy property, but like buy the state park or whatever, or you can
collect cards.
Because
drawing a card is a turn.
Yep,
that's sweet.
And there's 5 cards out, and then you have the pile. So if you don't like the 5 cards that are out, you can just randomly choose from the pile, just to get like a randomized. So like if you're looking for the campfire, you can just I don't see a campfire out there. I'm going to draw, and I got the campfire. Like, it's exciting.
Did either of you ever get into Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
Yeah, me either.
My brother loved that game.
Yeah.
See, that one didn't appeal to me, because one thing I do like about board games is that they end. And sometimes I want to play the game again.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really fun playing Monopoly. Let's play again. Whereas that seems like it just goes on forever.
I'm not 100%, but I feel like it goes on.
I don't know anything about it. That's why I was
I think it goes on forever.
Yeah, I've heard of guys that have been playing. Dude, we've been playing since we were 12. I'm like, you're 40.
Yep. Just like we have disc golf leagues, I'm pretty sure they have like, hey, every Wednesday we meet and play Dungeons.
For sure they do. I know one of my coworkers actually did that. She played every Sunday. they're just a group of them. Yeah. You just go play and...
I'm not ready to commit to something like that. I already have disc golf. Like, I've got the hobby and Moonlight, of course, too. I've got two major hobbies. Like,
well, plus music, like that, like just teaching. I mean, like just learning about all that stuff. Like, I guess you have all your lessons, huh? You have a lot of lessons.
Yeah, dog.
All right. So my next question: the house and the property. What is your favorite part about it? And what is something that you would like to change?
And don't say Roddy.
My favorite part is the quiet.
Oh, really?
Bingo. Because that's what I tell everyone when I try to promote this place.
I thought it was going to be the disc golf course.
No, there's even more to that. Because I think when you go outside, especially in the evening, it's dead silent out here.
Yeah, that's nice.
Other than nature sounds, and that is more than welcome. In the spring, it's the frogs, you know. In the summer, it's the cicadas and the birds.
Yep.
Just peaceful sounds. The wind, and the stars. Just the openness of this, because I think it's very busy when you live in a neighborhood. There's cars. There's children. There's lights.
Yeah, and you don't even have to be in a city, like you're saying. Like it can just be a small neighborhood.
A suburb.
Yep.
I mean, my dad, I went to Omaha. He lives in a suburb of Omaha, in a cul-de-sac. All the kids play. Great place for kids. But there's not quiet. And sometimes it's nice to just relax, man. You come home from a day of work, you go outside and it's peaceful.
Mm-hmm. And we have neighbors, so like you could definitely hear neighbors, but I mean, even if they are doing anything, it's not...
And they're far away. I mean, they're not like neighbors like in a city.
Yeah, they're not like right on your property.
Yeah.
You literally have to have a little bit of a walk to go see them.
Yep. One thing I would change, we've changed a lot already.
We have changed a lot.
I wanted to change the carpets, we did. We changed the countertops, we changed the floors, we changed the bathroom tile, we put in the dog fence, put in the garden fence, put in the disc golf course, put in the landscaping, all the landscaping. Change the mailbox.
Oh, yeah, yep. I'm just saying one thing that you've talked about changing is this bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing I would want to change, like, because I hate it, you know?
Sure.
Just for fun. I mean, we've done all those projects. Everything's been kind of in succession.
Right.
I know next summer we're going to build a greenhouse. That's the next thing. Eventually we'll change our appliances upstairs. Do the fridge, stove, and like the microwave fan combo.
Mm-hmm.
And then this bathroom, I just want a bigger shower.
Okay.
Well, this is his favorite place to shower is down here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Not so much in the summer.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
In the winter, I only shower down here because the room is so small. It gets hot, so I'm not cold in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
How about in-floor heating?
I don't know. Our floors aren't cold.
No, they're fine.
I mean, the concrete floor is cold. We could put in-floor out there, but we don't.
I was gonna say
out there that often.
Concrete floor is probably my favorite because my feet are always hot. So
I was gonna say I don't even think we should do that because Percy loves it.
And not to mention, we're not standing out there.
Yeah,
right.
Enough to be like, my feet are cold.
Yeah, the only time we do is when we're practicing putting, and we're usually wearing shoes.
Exactly. And if we're playing video games in the game room, we just wear slippers.
Yeah, I wear my slippers all the time in the game room. And then I'm usually wearing a robe in the game room too because it's just comfy.
You know, one thing I would like to change that's impossible though? So like a fantasy change? I wish that the weeds didn't grow so much in the garden.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
I bet you every gardener says the same thing.
It's going to be tough because now that the fence is in, I mean, you could definitely get it done, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Maybe next year, like maybe we just take the year and just do a good job.
My plan is to, each year, we're going to landscape the garden a little more. And by landscaping it, you'll put everything in sections so weeding will be easier.
A lot easier.
Like today we'll weed the tomatoes. Tomorrow we'll weed the peppers. But right now, the fence was the number one goal. So that way the deer don't eat everything.
It turned out really well too.
Yeah. So this year, we're going to have all of our crops just growing within the weeds. But next year, we'll already have the fence, so we won't have to do that.
This year's been the worst for weeds, though, too, because of the heat.
Yeah, it's just...
that early heat really boosted the weeds.
Yep. But whatever. It's all good.
Well, sweet. Well, this is my... Oh, yeah, this is my last question for you, I guess, for the random stuff. So, I guess you did talk about kind of a dream vacation. I was actually going to ask about a vacation. If you were to take, say, a road trip anywhere, where would you want to go and why would you want to disc golf there?
Oh, man. Anywhere. I don't care.
As long as you can bring your discs and go.
It's funny because, like, I've done quite a bit of road tripping. And there's places I haven't been, but I don't care too much. The places I have been are the ones I just want to keep going to.
Yeah.
My favorite road trip is to the Keweenaw.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, like, I want to just go to the Keweenaw, even though I've been there 8 times. I want to go there 9 times.
Yep.
Just because it's fun, too.
And it's beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
I've driven to South Carolina now, and that I got to see a lot of states. And it's fine. I wasn't blown away, and I wasn't dazzled. I don't care to do that again. I will still go to South Carolina because my family's down there, but I'm going to fly.
Yeah.
And then the other one would be Moab, Utah.
Oh, for sure.
Which we've already done.
Yeah.
The only place I think I really do want to see in disc golf is the Redwoods.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yep. And that one, but that I don't know if I'd necessarily want to drive. I'd be okay with flying to Northern California and just kind of renting a car.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's the place that you want to go to anyways. And, like, since we've already, like, I've driven down there a couple times now. Like, you've already seen that. So, like, just go to where you want to be and then be there for the week rather than taking a week to get there and back. Well, I like that idea. That would be beautiful to play some golf there. Disc golf.
Mm-hmm. I've looked. I think there's like 4 or 5 courses in the Redwood Forest, or forests that have redwoods.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Not like...
Imagine hitting a tree there, though.
Oh, yeah.
Just
going around the tree would be terrible.
You're not going around.
It took me 3 shots to go around it.
Okay, I putted left. Then I was out.
Normally on trees, you can, like, go around them. I can't even reach around this.
You're not throwing a thumber there.
No. No. Yeah. Man, that would be interesting. Because they're thick in there, too. Like, obviously the trees are thick, but, like, there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's... I wonder if those lines have got to be hard.
Maybe. We're awesome, so.
That's true.
All right. What is your biggest life goal, if you haven't achieved it yet? Or one that's remained?
I don't know, man. Life goal. Because all the other goals are smaller. Like, I want to have my career for a long time. It's good money, and it's fun. And that's hard to find the two.
I'm still looking for mine.
Of course, I want to be ripped from the gym, and I'm okay with doing that for the rest of my life. I want to be great at disc golf, do that the rest of my life. Overall, I guess I just don't want people to think of me with any sort of negative thought.
Nice.
Well, that's all I think of you as. Just kidding.
So that means when people are like, oh, Josh Danderand, he's cool.
Yeah.
And it's not because I want them to like me. It's because I want them to think of me and it brightens their day.
Yeah, and you don't want to be like, oh, Josh Danderand. No, that's
about it.
That's a good life goal because, I mean, that's kind of the way that I've tried to live my life is just live it as if you're...
It's a good answer.
Yeah, just...
Because all the other things are like things that like are kind of your own thing.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm trying to just like think of the quote. There was somebody that said that if you're trying to be not immortal, infinite or something, whatever, like if you want your like have a legacy, just be kind. Like, because then people are going to remember you. If you're not, they're going to be like, oh, they'll remember you, but not for the right reason. They'll be, oh, that guy's a...
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you have any questions for us?
It's your turn.
So, as a guest on the Stupidest Podcast, I was told I need to come up with 2 questions.
2 questions.
Yeah.
And then not on the topic, because we haven't gotten to the reason I'm here.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get there right after. If you have a question about the topic, though, feel free.
My first question is not on the topic.
Okay.
It's just a fun one because the 3 of us are big NFL fans.
Yes.
What's the NFL again?
The National Farting League.
Oh, I love the National Farting League.
Yeah, you're the team captain.
Yep.
No, I just wanted to know because I have my quote-unquote origin story of how I became a Jaguars fan. I would like to know the origin story of why Roddy's a Rams fan and why Vandy's a Vikings fan.
Oh,
okay, I'll tell you mine, but then I also want to hear the Jags one. Okay, so mine, I'm a Rams fan. Been a Rams fan since I've been about like 9 or 10 years old. It was the year before the Rams won the Super Bowl. And I was watching a game with my stepdad, and I don't remember if it was the Rams versus the Packers or the Rams versus the Vikings that we were watching. But we were watching the game, and I just was hanging out. I was having a great time, just having snacks, like drinking pop, having a great time with my family. And my stepdad asked, he's like, so who's your favorite team? Or who do you think's going to win? I was like, oh, I like that team. And I pointed to the Rams because I liked their helmet because it had the horn on there, and they were doing good. I just liked their uniforms. They were just a really cool looking team. So I'm like, I like that team. They won the game, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So I'm like, I was getting a little excited or whatever. The next year they won the Super Bowl. I'm like, just click. I'm just like, yep, that's my team. Like that's, and I just stuck with them. And there were some tough years in there. They're about 10 years where they weren't great, but stuck with them, and now they're doing well.
Yeah.
Just found out that they are rated number 4 on their defensive line, number 8 on their offensive line, and I'm very excited about the rest of the team. Like, the offense is going to be great. We got a great quarterback, great defense. I'm excited this year.
Cool.
That's how I became a Rams fan.
I've been a Vikings fan my entire life, from pretty much the womb.
Okay, so when I thought of this question, I figured you'd have an answer similar to that, right? Because you're in Minnesota. Yeah. I'm sure your family brings you up Vikings.
I was born in Colorado.
Oh.
So everybody thought I would be a Denver Bronco fan. But my whole family is from Minnesota.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, then that's still similar.
So this is what I was going to ask you, because I kind of thought that'd be the answer, just like since birth. Can you think of a time when you were watching the Vikings and you're like, yes, like it clicked that you're obsessed with this team. Like you're old enough to be aware that like you need your team to do good. Like you just love it.
The 98 season. The 98 season was the
9 years old or something?
I was 11, I think.
11.
10,
yeah,
10 or 11.
He's 3 years older than us.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, the 98 season was, dude, I could have named every player on the team.
Yeah.
From the lineman to the defensive lineman to that was the year that I probably learned learned everything about the Vikings.
Everybody learned who Gary Anderson was that year.
See, and that's the thing is everybody wants to make fun of Gary Anderson about that season. Gary Anderson didn't lose that game.
Well, obviously, yeah, because the team needs to get him in a better position in order to.
There was multiple other plays during the game that could have scored. Gary Anderson didn't lose that game.
No.
He missed the kick, but don't put him in that situation.
Nah.
You know, that's the thing. Like, everybody that says, oh, Gary Anderson, huh? Gary Anderson. I'm like, then that right there tells me that that person is not a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
Because obviously they didn't, everybody blames Gary Anderson.
Nick from the Half-Ass Morning Show, who has grown up in Minnesota, of course, he gets a little upset about the Gary Anderson hate, but not just because obviously the whole team could have played better the whole game.
Right.
He says, watch that play. Whoever was playing furthest right tackle,
he gets it,
didn't block well enough.
No.
And whoever was playing that defensive end for, was it the Falcons?
Falcons, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Got through. Gets in Gary's head, and of course he's a professional kicker. He should be able to make it, but if there's blame to be thrown
It's
around,
that
it's
tackle.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can blame the tackle too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
snap wasn't the greatest either.
Yep. Right.
Well, I mean, put somebody in that kind of a situation, just a random person, right? Put that much pressure to make put a professional disc golfer, say you need to ace this, or you need to park this right now, or your season's done. You're not going to play.
And that's the kicker you wanted, though, too.
Yeah.
In that situation,
He was automatic.
There's no other kicker in the league at that time and that year that you wanted. You're like, automatic. The dude hasn't missed all year.
Mm-hmm.
How long was that? I don't even remember.
30.
Yeah.
Oh, it was only 30.
38.
Long.
Wow.
36, yeah.
I didn't realize that. I just assumed it was like 40, 50.
No, he Blair Walshed it.
Wow. Well, that he Gary Andersoned it because Blair Walsh wasn't a thing yet. He was probably in middle school.
It's a Blair Walsh thing because he's missed it multiple times. He only missed it once, so it can't get named after you.
I was at that game, Vandy. The Blair Walsh one.
Were you?
It was the outdoor one.
That was terrible, too.
Okay, so we were on the sunny side of the stadium because they put all the Seahawk players and coaches on the side that never got the sun because that was the third coldest game in NFL history.
Oh,
That playoff game.
That's brutal.
So anyway, because we were on the sunny side, though, Blair Walsh was kicking a 22-foot yarder? I think that was only 22 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was short. It was real short.
He kicked it, and of course, those in time, a 22-yard kick takes like 1 second.
Yep.
So he kicks it. Everyone on our side of the stadium cheered.
Oh, because they couldn't see.
The sun was in our eyes. You couldn't see the ball at all. We just assumed that the NFL kicker made a 22-yarder
Yeah.
from
The gimme.
extra point range.
Yeah.
And we all cheered. And everyone's cheering and hugging and high-fiving. And it's negative like 40 with the wind chill. And like, we're watching like the big screen though.
Yeah.
And it's
like,
showing Pete Carroll. And he's not mad.
Yeah.
We're like, this is weird, man. And then the scoreboard wasn't changing. Then they show Blair Walsh.
Oh.
Head down, snapping his chin strap off.
Dude, it was terrible.
We couldn't believe it.
The thing was, it wasn't like he just barely missed.
It was gone.
Dude, it was a whole nother field goal away.
Yeah.
That game was awesome, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, and at that point, since it's negative 40, the people that are hugging, they can't get away from that hug because they are frozen together. So now they are just stuck in the shame that they...
That game was sick, though, man. It was a lot of fun. Bud Grant was the coin toss captain, and he went out there in a T-shirt.
A T-shirt.
Dude,
and-
Bud Grant was a tough son of a...
Still is.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was awesome. Linval Joseph still played D-line for you guys, and there was a TV timeout. All the players left the field to go on the heaters and get their coats.
That
He
defensive
stayed.
line was so good.
Linval Joseph stayed on the field the entire TV commercial. He's the only person on the field, right over the ball, pacing.
Wow.
He's so cool.
He was a beast.
Dang, that's tough right there.
Yeah.
When he got shot, he got shot in the leg.
Yeah.
He walked to the ambulance.
Oh my god.
Well, he's got huge legs. It probably only was a flesh wound.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be that tough. I don't think I could get shot. And like, if it's cold outside, I'm gonna be going to the heat with everybody else because
Well, it's
That's not-
available.
yeah.
I still love the '98 team, man. That offense was second to none. Robert Smith, running back. Jake. When Jake Reed is your worst wide receiver,
Yep.
That's a good.
Chris Carter, Randy Moss's rookie year. Yeah, Cunningham just chucking it up.
Yeah.
Brad Johnson was the starter that year.
Brad Johnson. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
I think that was his last year on the team.
Was that Brad Johnson's year? I thought he was after that.
No,
Oh wow.
no, we had Brad Johnson because
Obviously, I'm a Rams fan, so I don't.
then it went to Culpepper.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I think we had actually Jeff George or something like. We had a 1 year guy or whatever.
Okay.
Something like that. But yeah, we had Brad Johnson, and then we get rid of him, and he goes down to Tampa Bay, and then
that's when he wins the Super Bowl.
He wins the Super Bowl right after he leaves here.
Yep.
Like, yep, story of the Vikings.
Yeah. Well, he found a good team. Do you have a second question at all?
Wait. We didn't hear his origin.
Oh, we need to hear the Jags origin.
Oh, yeah. Mine, it's so funny. It's like a combination of your two answers.
Yeah.
So, when I first saw the Jaguars, I was watching football with my stepdad, just like you did.
Yep.
He's from Pittsburgh. So, he's a diehard Steeler fan. And it was the 96 season. Jags had just come out. Because they're from 95.
Yep.
And
one of my buddies, sorry to cut you off, one of my buddies that first year and got the Jaguars helmet, like a legit helmet. And I go, like, I was into football, but I'm like, I didn't know about the Jags yet. And I'm like, what is that? I thought it was the coolest helmet I've ever seen. I was like, that is so sick.
So anyway, I really was enjoying watching football, even though I'm only 5. It's a neat thing to watch. But I kind of already wanted, like, my stepdad's team to lose. So it was like a Sunday nighter or a Monday nighter. And I was just like, who's that team? Kind of like you. And he's like, that's a brand new team, Jacksonville Jaguars. And my mom goes, hey, that's where I was born. Jacksonville. I'm like, well, that's my favorite team. So I held on to that for a few years, the Jags. And it was whatever. But then the 99 season, now I'm 9 years old. So this kind of reminds me. 99, that's when I knew every player. Every player, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, you name it. That's also the season they went 14-2.
Which is pretty good.
Yep. They only lost 2 games that year. Oh, both were the Titans.
Oh, I didn't know they were both the Titans.
Yep. So then
Is that the year the Titans went to the Super Bowl?
So get this. They lose to the Titans twice, 14-2, and they cream everyone else. Next, they get a bye week because they won the AFC.
Yep.
The next week, they play the Dolphins in the divisional game. It's Dan Marino's last football game of his career. Jaguars win 62-7 in the playoffs.
62.
I remember that game.
It was 35-7 at halftime. Mark Brunell didn't even start the third quarter. They had a backup come in just because why not?
Yeah.
And he scored like 2 touchdowns.
In the playoffs, they sit their quarterback second half.
Yeah.
Wow. It was blown out.
I mean, and then, like...
Who was your running back at that day?
Fred Taylor.
The best.
Fred Taylor had a 90-yard touchdown on the third drive of the game.
Wow.
He had a, 50-yard screen pass. The Dolphins couldn't tackle him. I still, to this day, will go and watch that game on YouTube because it's the most fascinating. Anyway, fourth quarter starts. Out of nowhere, the game is paused. Like, what's going on? The sprinkler system goes off. And the announcers lose their minds. They're laughing. They're like, what else can happen? Because we're talking, the Jags had 5 interceptions on Marino. They had a fumble, a sack, strip sack, return for a touchdown. They had a blocked punt. Everything you'd ever want all happened.
Yeah.
Huge runs, huge passes, tons of defensive interceptions and turnovers. So then we get to the championship game. Titans. The only team we've lost to the whole season. And we lose.
Brutal.
And then they play the Rams.
And then the Rams. They're like, you know what? You're not messing with the Jags.
Yeah, right.
We're helping Josh out.
Dude, so with the playoffs counted, they were 15-3. But they were 15-0 against everyone but the Titans.
So they had an undefeated season.
If they didn't play.
If the Titans decided not to be.
Was that the year of Warner?
Yeah, Warner. Yeah, yep, that was the year Warner had to step in as a backup.
Yeah.
And won the Super Bowl for the Rams.
So, Vandy, you want to hear some names I'll drop? See if you remember from the Jags that season? Do you remember Mark Brunell?
Yep.
Do you remember Jimmy Smith?
Yes.
Nice. Do you remember Keenan McCardell?
Oh, yeah. I remember Keenan McCardell.
He was the other wide receiver. So, Jimmy and Keenan were the two.
I don't remember
Bombers.
McCardell, but I remember Jimmy. Jimmy was good.
Real good.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not sure if you'd remember other ones from defense. Not a lot of big names. The biggest name was probably like Carnell Lake.
I remember Carnell Lake.
Or Donovan Darius.
Donovan Darius, he was a beast.
Yeah, I remember Donovan
safety.
Darius. Yep.
And then Aaron Beasley was our corner.
I don't remember Beasley.
I remember Beasley because I think he went to the Cowboys for a while.
Yeah.
Yep. I do remember. I remember Beasley on the Cowboys. I didn't know he was a Jag.
Yep. And he was like darn near Ramsey good when he was with the Jags. Yeah. He was picking them off just constantly. And he was a rookie. He was a rookie that year.
Wow.
Yep.
That'd be sweet to have a Jalen Ramsey style rookie. That'd be insane.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That was a fun one.
Wasn't what's his name?
Fred Taylor, though, man.
Wasn't
Brunel?
I can't remember his name.
He had some good players that year.
Really good. I mean, even the other ones that you haven't really heard of, like Tony Brackens was defensive end, Kevin Hardy at linebacker.
Wasn't Trevor Lawrence on that team?
He probably wasn't even born.
And now he's going to be their starting quarterback this year.
Yep.
Well,
96? I bet he wasn't born.
Well, that was 99, but
99.
He was probably born by.
Oh, yeah, he was probably.
Maybe.
How
old is he?
He's who knows? Probably 23.
23 is like an older.
He played 3 years of college though.
Oh, so maybe 21, 22.
So he would have been just coming out of the womb.
Oh yeah, he's a youngin. Well, sweet. I like that question.
Yeah. Got any others, or is that it?
Well, I think he's.
Oh my gosh, he was born in '99.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I figured it had to be close.
In October, so that means he was alive for that Jags playoff game.
Wow.
And that because that was in January.
We should ask him if he remembers it.
He's 3 months old.
4 months old.
That's crazy. How excited are you for him?
Oh, come on, man. Just so excited. I mean, why wouldn't I be? I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Urban Meyer. I'm excited for ETN. I'm excited for Robinson. I mean, our wide receivers are amazing. Chark, Marvin Jones Jr., Chenault.
Did you hear about the Vikings draft pick?
No. What happened?
He got shot up.
Oh, yeah. But he's fine.
He's fine. Yeah.
Wow.
But still, like he took 5 or 6 bullets.
Oh. Complete accident, though. Like wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, he wasn't even involved. He was like going to the bank with his mom, and there was a drive-by.
And it was in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just an accident.
Some guy just driving by sprayed, and he got hit a lot.
I guess 5 times, that's...
Once in the butt.
That's 5 times more than I want to be shot up. Dang.
But they say he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
No surgery needed or nothing. So I don't know. They say shot, and I'm wondering, did he just get grazed or did he actually get shot? You know, was it just?
Well, I bet either way it's scary.
Yeah. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But the first thing I was like, great, really? There goes our defensive end.
Yeah. Dang. You guys ready to get into the topic for the episode?
I'm ready.
Well, I've got a second question.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yep.
But it's a segue.
Okay.
I just want to see where you guys are at. So, for you guys, what does music do for you? What is music to you?
That's a good question. So, music to me is an escape sometimes. It's a way to just kind of get into a new world that maybe I've been in before, and I just want to be back in that world. I want to say I've never really had the ability to say that it helps me express myself. I've wanted to have that, but I don't know how to write music. But it's a way to express myself in the fact that if I want to listen to a certain genre, I can express my feelings, but I don't get to express them exactly, if that makes sense. Like, it gets close, but it's not like... I don't know how to explain it. I don't have an analogy to explain it, but you kind of understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is to me. I'm just kind of brings me to different places and makes me feel different things. Like I said, I like all types of music. It's just how my mood is at the time.
Sure.
Dude, music's life. Music is everything. Music is right up there with comedy for me. Like I'm landscaping. I'm always listening to music. Always. 24/7, 365. I listen to music while I sleep.
Well, you can't do that because then you aren't listening to podcasts or comedy.
Yeah.
There's still music in that, though. A lot of the times.
I guess you could say that. There's music in everything.
But yeah, I'll listen. We've talked about it in I think the last episode or even the episode before that. If you go through my playlist, it's all over the board, man. Mm-hmm. All over the board.
And you like whatever's on, you just listen to.
Yeah. And I have respect for every artist.
Yeah. That's the difference. Like I listen to everything, but I don't listen to everything as it's happening. Like if I'm going through my playlist and something plays and I'm not feeling it, I have to skip on to the next because I'm like, well, this isn't me right now.
What I love about music is music can cover every feeling. Mm-hmm. Every single feeling you're having.
And then some.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can give you feelings you've never felt before.
And the great thing is it can change your feeling as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the cool part about music in my life is that I have really close friends that are really good at music. And it's crazy because, like, obviously we have different experiences, but some of the songs that, like, Josh, that you write just hit. Mm-hmm. And I want to listen to it all the time, you know, like, I know, like, we have similar experiences, but different experiences, but you know how to express it, and I don't. I'll write a joke about it, and you'll write a song about it. Like, yeah.
One of the coolest exercises we ever did in choir was we all had to close our eyes, and our conductor put on, it was classical music. He told us, listen to this, and write down what you see. There wasn't one answer that was the same.
Mm-hmm. Well, how can you write down your answer if your eyes are closed? Oh, you open your eyes for that part? Okay.
But yeah.
That is a cool...
It was crazy. There was 32 kids in that choir. Not one answer was even close to the other.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's cool. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's subjective for people because there's people that love genres that some people won't listen to.
Yeah.
Like, I know people that will only listen to rap, but I also know people that they'll listen, but they're not, like, real into it. And then there's people that, well, nope, that's not for me. Or any genre. I just use that as an example. Like, I know people that don't like country. I know people that don't like hard rock. I know people that don't like alternative rock. Like, it all depends on the person, and just like comedy for a lot of people, like there's some people that like certain things, some people just not for them. Some people don't like Brian Regan. Can you imagine that? Like,
I like Brian Regan, dude.
I know.
I just don't like his newest special. I know. That's it.
Thank you. He rips on me all the time. The time. He treats it like I think Brian Regan is the worst comedian ever. I'm like, I don't hate the dude. He's just not the freaking GOAT for me, all right? I'm sorry.
Dude, those first, like, 3 or 4 specials had me rolling on the floor. The first time I ever heard him, it was on Netflix, but I had to pause it.
Yeah,
because of too much laughing.
Yeah.
Like his joke about, what's the word for it when you're just standing somewhere? Not loitering, but like...
Yeah, it's loitering.
Is it loitering?
Yeah, it's loitering.
That's one of his best, I think.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the newest. That's all.
I know. No, I'm just giving you shit because these guys. Earlier today, we were talking about Brian Regan, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like this special," and I'm like, "Well, Brian Regan is not second to anybody, so."
All right, you want to start it off?
Yeah. So we got our topic hour. So we got some questions for Josh. He's going to answer them honestly and truthfully, or he's going to lie. I don't know what he's going to be doing.
We will never know.
But they're all going to be about music. Our topic for this podcast is music. I know we've been talking about a lot of different things, so that we're probably going to talk about other topics within music and how it makes us feel or whatever. But we got 10 questions that we're going to be going through. My first question, what got you into music, and what is your favorite part of the music writing process? You can use it as one question or two, however you want to go about that.
Sure.
But
for the people that don't know me who are listening to this, can I real quick just say why I'm your music guest?
Yes. Yep. You can get into it.
Just because, like, I'm not like...
Yeah, the reason...
show any sort of qualification why I'm answering.
We just picked this guy up on the street.
Yeah, the reason that I wanted Josh to be our first guest, not only because he's my roommate, he's my really good friend, but his life is music. Mm-hmm. He is a music teacher. He is a part of a band. He'll go into more details about these, but his life is music. He is the most musical person that I know, and he knows more about music than I can ever imagine about knowing.
Yeah, so I am a teacher of music. I teach at a K-12 school, so I get to teach all the grades. And it's a different style for everything. So there's music teaching. I also do a little bit of lessons as an adjunct professor at the college nearby for guitar, bass guitar, and woodwinds. I also am in a band. I play bass guitar for that. However, I write a lot of songs for the band, and I write on guitar, and I write the lyrics and the words. That's probably the newest part of my music career, even though at this point that's like 8 years old, writing. But before that I didn't write. I went through the college process, so I had to get my music degree, take all the music history classes. So I'm pretty good at the music history part of it, in both the rock and roll side and the classical side. I played in a bunch of musicals. I played bass guitar in St. Cloud for a bunch of musicals for a bunch of different little classical theater, or not classical, theater groups. There's probably some more qualifications. I'm just kind of forgetting.
Yeah, if you can think of anything musical, he's had some sort of at least a touch of it.
Had a finger on it.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the question?
So the question is, what got you into music? Like, what was the first thing that kind of inspired you to get into it? Either professionally or just in general, however you want to answer that. And then what part of the music writing process? I know you said you've only been writing for about 8 years now, but what is your favorite part of just writing?
Cool. Well, what got me into music was just like in the school that I went to. Just kind of a normal school. It was K-12. But 4th grade is when you could join band. And I liked music. I didn't know I liked it as much. When I look back on it, it's like, whoa. I could sing the theme song to Homeward Bound, the movie, at like 4.
Wow.
And it's a classical piece. There's no words.
Yeah.
And it's just, for some reason, I like that melody.
It was a good melody.
Yeah, it's really good.
Wait, can you do the whole thing right now?
It's really good.
It is good.
So anyway, in 4th grade, we had the option to join band. And I wanted to play the oboe. But they wouldn't let you play oboe unless you played clarinet for 2 years. So I said, sure. As a little 4th grader. I played clarinet for 2 years.
That's crazy you wanted to play oboe.
I thought it was just cool. Had a double reed, I just thought it was neat. So played clarinet for 2 years and was good at it. It was easy to me. And then 6th grade came around. Got to try the oboe. Tried it for a week. I'm like, that thing, not for me. And I am getting pretty good at clarinet, so I'm going to stick with that.
Well, it was twice as hard. It had twice as many reeds.
Yeah. So then clarinet was the first start of it. Then I get to high school, And the high school that I went to had this crazy good choir director who didn't start the show choir, but started making it huge. And show choir was like what the school was about. If you wanted to travel the country, you were in show choir. If you wanted to compete at a high level, show choir. So I knew that's where I wanted to be. Plus, it's singing, it's dancing, hard dancing. It's 45 minutes.
Which is incredible because not only are you moving around, you also need to make sure, like, as you're moving, you're not changing pitches. Like, you're just...
Breathing was big.
Also, there's costume changes during the show. There's solos, there's dance breaks, all this stuff. It was cool. It was cool to look at. It was cool to be a part of. So that's where I just joined, and then I gave it my all. I had to be good at it. I don't know why. I just wanted to be. So I became dance captain, which was like the name of the captains for them, as a sophomore, then junior year, then senior year. And we'll go on to that story because I'm sure that's questions we'll get there. But that's how I started. It wasn't much. I think my brain, as a young kid, just liked music. And my mom likes music, and my dad likes music. My dad was in band. My mom was in choir. But, like, not to the extent I did, you know.
Didn't take it as far as you.
No. And in the songwriting process, what was the question about it? What's my favorite part of it?
Yeah, what's your favorite part? There can be more than one favorite part.
When I write songs, and if you ever have Matt on here as a music guest, I know that he's going to come on here and be a movie guest because he's a movie guy. But if he was ever a music guest, he will have a different answer. And so will James, who also writes, and Dante.
Which is great to have all of that, like different answers in one band, because that way you have all of the...
But the way I write songs is it always starts on guitar. And it always starts with fiddling around. Every time.
So you always play with a fiddle.
It's just, I'm messing around on the guitar, and I find something I like. And then I explore it. Then, once it's concrete, I need to add more to it. I need variance within the song. So usually I can come up with the song, or I complete a song with no lyrics and no singing. It's just the guitar, but it's the whole song. It's done. So say it's a 3-minute song. And it's finished.
The guitar is done.
It's just guitar. And the reason I've done that, and it works for me, is because then I think, what is this song about? Because I can feel the emotion of the guitar and the chord progression, and if it's poppy, if it's dancey, if it's sad, if it's epic, whatever, then I write lyrics.
When you're writing the lyrics, do you usually have to have like a topic in mind about what the song is going to be about, or does that just kind of happen?
It happens because of the guitar.
Okay.
So you write the tune, then the lyrics.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying like the lyrics. So say like you're writing a song like no, like you know, like say you only have one lyric at the time. Do you like just decide that like, okay, well, this is going to kind of be the general theme, or do you just kind of like how does that work? Is it one line can change the entire song, or do you like write it all kind of at one time, or do you even have like that one lyric?
That's tough question.
Because it's probably different for each song.
Yeah, it's really a feeling. I get the feeling from the guitar. And I don't really need to search for a topic. It just happens. So No happened when I was still in college, and I was taking astronomy as one of my gen eds. So I was in the middle of astronomy, and I loved it. Thinking about how big the world is and how we're not big. And, you know, also me and Matt have a ton of talks about spirituality, afterlife, and God. We lived together for 9 years, and we talked about it every day. So that was in my head. And I kind of made connections between those talks of afterlife and who we are, and then astronomy, what I was learning in college. And there's just so much, man. Like, also at the time I was listening to Arcade Fire, and I realized that you don't need to change chords a lot. There's this song I really love by them. It only had 2 chords for the whole verse, but he changed his melody and his voice, so it made it sound different, even though the background music didn't change at all. 2 chords. But by singing different over the top, you think the section changed. It didn't.
There's a lot of songs out there only with 3 chords.
I know. So, like, that song that you mentioned, No, there's just things that flood in. Because the guitar part's just going da-na, 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 da-na.
Yep.
And then da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
It's just those bum, 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 bum is the chords. But the first melody is like...
You know, time out. Sorry.
sorry.
So you're doing that right now, and what I'm seeing in your head is you're actually seeing the whole band being played right now.
Oh, yeah.
Where people that are listening right now, they're just hearing your sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Where in your head, you're like,
yep.
Oh, I can hear the drums right here.
Well, let's just go into Josh's head real quick. Ready? Everybody, take a second.
But that's how a good musician's mind works. Is you're doing those sounds, you're listening, you're like, I can hear the whole band.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yep.
Where a lot of people are just like, I can hear the beat.
And if you do want to listen to the song again, Josh's band is the Moonlight Community, and the song is No. So if you want to go listen to that song quick, then re-listen to this part, you'll understand.
And for real, though, we're on Spotify.
Yep.
So go to the Moonlight Community. We have 2 albums. One's called The Gateway. One's called Anin. And that is the order in which they were made. In the first one, The Gateway, the track No, K-N-O-W, is what we're talking about right now. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. My favorite part of the songwriting process is probably matching. So I did that huge explanation. My favorite thing for me, a complete song, is the accidental guitar riff that became a song, and then matching the lyrics and the topic to that sound. And over time, I've become comfortable enough to say that I'm good at it.
I'd say you are very good
like,
at it.
at first, I never wanted to brag, but as the older I get, I am so in love with the songs. It's not like, hey, look at me, I'm cool. It's like, dude, that song is so good. I never say, I'm so good at writing songs. I always say, that song is so good.
Well, and you're not just complimenting yourself, because you're complimenting the everybody in the band as well.
Yes, and just the song. And the song doesn't even have to be attached to me.
Yep.
Once, I write it, air quotes.
Yep.
But now the song exists. No. So when I say that song is so good, it doesn't even matter that I wrote it.
Yep.
The song is good.
Mm-hmm.
I also say that songs that Matt writes are good. And Arcade Fire. And I mean, whatever. If a song is good, I say it's good, including the ones I write.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
No, I like that. That's... And it's crazy because we are going to have everybody in the Moonlight Community is going to be on this show eventually. And that is a question that I want to ask everybody, that just how the writing process works. Because I understand writing comedy is obviously different for me compared to another comedian. And it's just crazy to see that in other...
Yeah, our styles of writing are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we were talking to James right now, if he was here, way different.
Yeah. Like, it'd be like flipped, because doesn't he usually do lyrics first, right?
Almost always.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
The end game. However you get there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to break off of that. My question is going to be, what's the longest you've ever spent on writing a song? And what's the shortest amount of time you spent on writing a song?
The shortest amount was the most recent. Not the most recent song. I lied. It was 3 songs ago. It's a song I wrote about me and Matt.
Oh, yeah.
That song was done in about 12 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It was an accident.
And it's a 12-minute song. So,
no, it's actually really short. That's probably one of the parts of why it was so fast. I was giving a guitar lesson online to one of my 8th grade students. And while she was like getting ready, or whenever there was like a weird lull in the lesson, I had accidentally found this guitar riff. It was just like really hitting it. And she was learning in drop D, which is a tuning for guitar other than standard. So I was in drop D with my guitar, on the laptop, across from her, whatever. And I was just kind of messing around. And I found it on accident, like all the songs. I was like, man, that's a good riff. So, like, then the lesson was over, and I immediately... And she was the last... No. Oh. She was the last lesson of the day. So I was done teaching at this point. So I just stuck on that riff. Like, I love it. And then I just started singing words. So that's another part of my singing or writing process, is once the song's done guitar-wise, I don't just, like, start writing words, like on a pen and paper. I just start singing random words, always.
That's awesome.
To see if that sounds good. And it's just kind of not even real sentences. Like, well, like, time, play, like, just weird things. Where are we now? Just random.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily mean that those are going to be the lyrics you use. Now, they don't even have to be even close.
Exactly.
You're just trying to figure out, like, the melody of it.
Yes.
And then that way you can be like, okay, well, I need a word that can kind of do this kind of a loop, but still sound good and flow in the song.
But then anyway, I wrote it. It happened really fast.
This song is not on the album.
No, this song's...
This will be on...
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows the nature of the song? Oh, and by the way, I think this new song, I think I'm naming it The Ride.
Ooh.
That's the very last thing I ever do. Sometimes I have like 4 songs that are done, and I still don't even have names for them.
I've heard the song multiple times, and I've yet to hear a title till now.
Yeah. And then the longest song, not long, man, because if I can't write it fast, I give up on it. That's just how I've always been. Usually when I'm writing a song, I will finish it that day. Because if it's not hitting me, like I have to finish it, then I kind of am like, well, it's not that good.
Makes sense.
Have you ever had any songs like that where it didn't hit that day, but then later on another day, it just like all of a sudden you're like, I got it. Like I'm going to finish this song because I know...
One. And that is the newest song I've written.
Okay.
Only because there's a riff I wrote back at the apartment. I liked a lot. Really dirty. Really heavy. I never found lyrics for it. But I remembered how to play it because it's pretty easy. It just sounds gross. I like it. And I've always played that riff throughout these years. I mean, that was when Rick lived with me.
Okay, yeah.
So probably 2016 is when I wrote this riff. And I don't know why. I think I was messing around on guitar the other day. And I was like, oh yeah, that riff. And I was playing it. And then boom, lyrics. So you could say that song took me 5 years to write. But it's more like I wrote a cool guitar riff, scrapped it, accidentally remembered it. But with life experience in those 5 years, that song is definitely, the words and the feeling is about the world right now and how I fit into it and how I perceive myself in whatever this world is. So I couldn't have written it back then.
Yeah.
It needed to be now.
So you had the feelings of now back then in a way.
No, because the guitar never has a feeling from me.
Oh, okay.
The guitar is always random.
Okay.
Because, I've written dirty, mean songs. Well, that's actually really new for me.
Yeah.
But I wrote Light as well.
Yeah.
And that song is like about heaven.
Yep. And
it's pure beauty. So like,
Yeah. You can listen to that one for sure. Light is out on one of the
Light is on the Gateway as well. And it's a beautiful song.
It is very.
But yeah, the feeling comes from the guitar, and then I try to match it. So, and I never write a guitar part intentionally. That's like a lot of artists will say, sometimes you don't even think you wrote the song. Because it's like, whoa, where did that come from?
I find that sometimes I'll be thinking of a joke, or I like think of a joke like years ago, all of a sudden like it just hits me. I'm like, wait a second, like I can just, if I do this, and then all of a sudden it's just there, and it just, I don't feel like I was a part of it, but it happened. It came from my brain somehow. I don't know why it came through me, but I mean that I can't imagine, like I don't have the brain for music to do that.
Sure.
It intrigues me.
Good answer. I like it.
That is a very good answer.
Yeah.
All right. How many instruments can you play?
I feel like at this point in my life, I could probably play anything.
Anything?
Yeah, not like...
I know you can play everything in this room. We're in the music room downstairs at the house, and there are a lot of instruments in this room, and I know you can play every single one in here.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not like bragging again. This is just a thing. When you go to become a music teacher for instrumental music, you have to take a semester per instrument family. So I had to take an entire semester of brass, and you have to pass out of it. So like in that semester, you have to learn tuba, trombone, French horn, trumpet. Next semester, strings. You have to learn violin, cello, viola, bass. Next semester, woodwinds, clarinet, oboe, bassoon, saxophone, flute.
And you need to pass all of these.
Yes, and then the percussion was
Wow.
the other. So 4 semesters just of instruments. Now here's the thing. I'm not perfect at any of those things. My best instruments are clarinet, guitar, and bass guitar. But the reason I say I could probably play anything now is because once you learn so much, if someone brought me a new instrument, so like I could probably figure out how to play something.
Because you've had all of, like, you've had other experiences.
All the training.
with
I think it's the same, like, when people say they know, like, 5 languages, they can usually learn a language in, like, a month after that.
Wow.
Because there's so many just connections.
Yeah.
If you put a stringed instrument in front of me, I now understand how it's going to work. Even though it might be weird tuning, I don't know, or number of strings, I understand how it's going to work.
Yeah, so there are, like, nuances that you're going to have to learn, but overall you should have a good concept of it.
So I play 3 instruments really well, and then I play a bunch of other instruments fine.
That's sweet.
That's really good. Better than me.
All right, my question is going to break off of this, too. Is there an instrument that you wish you were better at?
Guitar.
Well, yeah. All right. Out of other than the 3 that you're good at, is there one that you wish? Man, I wish I was better at that.
Drum set.
Drums.
Yeah, because drums, I'm getting better, especially before COVID hit. When I was teaching in the building all the time, in between classes, I would play drum set because they were out, and I teach drum set, so I'm like decent at it, and I know that. In a different path of life, I could have really enjoyed being a drummer instead of bass and guitar. It's so fun to play drum set.
Yeah.
I just ask AJ.
Oh,
when you watch him on stage, he's only smiles.
Yep.
Because that dude legitimately is obsessed with playing drums. He's like us playing disc golf, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he's playing drums, he can't not smile. And he's not doing it because he's posing for a picture. He's doing it because he's having so much fun, he can't contain himself.
Well, I've seen AJ, like, maybe not on his greatest day, right? He's just kind of having an off day or whatever, and he's there. He's there, whatever. But then during the show, the biggest smile ever. Yeah. And then after the show, it's just kind of like, well, you know, like, he's in a better mood, obviously. You can tell that he's in a better mood. But it just kind of goes back to, oh, yeah, I guess we got to start getting back to the real stuff, I guess.
Drum set for sure.
That's cool.
All right, my next question is actually kind of a off of that too. So, what instrument can you play that not a lot of people know about? Like, is there an instrument out there that is not very popular that you know how to play that not a lot of people even know as an instrument?
Like, are you a secret bagpipes player?
No, I've never tried that instrument.
Like, I know you have that, what's that one that you like?
Yeah, the automaton. Oh, no, the one in my car?
Yeah.
So that's a nose harp.
Nose harp.
But you don't play it with your nose.
Yep.
It actually used to be called a Jew harp, but I guess it changed.
Why?
I guess
Why would they change that name?
It's a nose harp. I wish I had it with me, but you have all heard it. It's like the dong, 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 dong.
Yep.
It's like you put it in your mouth, you put your lips on it, and then you hit this thing, and then the width of your mouth inside the cavity of your mouth changes the pitch. So the instrument itself never changes pitch.
Is that like that Australian kind?
Yeah. It's not the didgeridoo, but it's like the
pretty
same.
Pretty close, yeah.
The same thing that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
So that, and then the automaton. That's that Japanese battery-powered instrument.
Yes.
It's actually not a toy. It looks like a toy.
Yeah,
it looks like a music note.
Yep, it looks like a music note, and it has
a mouth,
a face. Yeah.
Yep, has little painted on eyeballs, but the mouth opens to actually give it more volume. But it's like a trombone in that, or a violin in that, wherever your finger is on the neck, it changes pitch. That's why it's a legitimate instrument. It just sounds super funny.
Yeah, if you don't know what it is, Google it.
Automaton.
Automaton.
Mm-hmm.
Can either of you spell it?
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's Otamatone. Yeah.
There's no way you would have got that.
Ditto what he said.
Other than that, I don't think there's a lot of like weird instruments out there that I've tried. Those two are kind of funny. And of course I can play them, but I'm not like good. I just mess around. That instrument over there is a balalaika, but it's basically a ukulele with 3 strings, but it's Russian. So
I would have said the exact same thing before you said
I'm
that.
sure you would have.
I knew exactly what it was.
But like that thing, I just wanted to have one. It's cool. It's a balalaika. It's a Russian.
Yeah, it is really cool.
I learned how to play one song on it. And then never mandolin. Did it.
You say it's a balalaika, but it doesn't look like a ball.
Nice.
Sorry, that was a bad one.
You got a mandolin over there. I didn't even know you could play the mandolin.
That's the same thing as the balalaika. I just like wanted one.
They're cool.
I learned a few chords on it, but then didn't.
You really continue with it?
Nah.
I like the tongue drums.
Those are sick.
Those are my favorite. I have one up in my room even. Like you had those too. And I wanted it. It's just so soothing and relaxing. That's the instrument that a lot of people use in like meditation and stuff like that.
So when I was in school, to be a drummer, you had to have like 4 years of piano. Is that a rule in your school?
Well, not in the school I teach in, because I'm the teacher, so I get to make the rule.
You make the rules?
The reason that rule is in place is because a lot of kids will want to play drums for a couple reasons. One, they think it's easy, because you don't have to learn your notes.
Right.
Well, they're wrong, and then they realize they're wrong right away. Because, yeah, you don't have to learn pitches as much, but you do with, like, xylophone and glockenspiel and bells and stuff. But they're thinking drum set. They're thinking rock and roll, right? But even without those pitches, the unpitched percussion, you still have to read music. And sure, it's not a pitch, but you have to learn duration and notation. And that's why they have them do piano first, is to see, well, are you into this? Are you willing to learn music theory? Because you have to. But in my school, no, it's not a thing, because I kind of teach the kids whatever they want.
Right.
And I try to do it all collectively. So I try to start, this is like for 7 through 12, of course. This is not elementary, but for 7 through 12, I have them 5 days a week. And I try to start each lesson with theory. Because everyone in there is going to need theory. Whether you're a singer, or a saxophone player, or a drummer. So this is universal, whoever's in the band and choir in the music program at my school. Let's learn some theory. We need to learn duration. We need to learn dynamics, how to read, timing. Everyone needs that if you're going to read music and play it.
Which makes sense.
So far, it's working for me.
Cool.
Was that was your question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't have yours down, so I don't know which questions, because I've been asking questions in between just to kind of. Okay, so what 5 bands have changed the way that you view or listen to music? Not necessarily your favorite; they can be your favorite bands, but what bands what 5 bands do you think have changed, or just the way that you view or just listen?
Are either of you guys going to ask me my favorites? Is that on the list?
I was gonna after this, but yeah, go ahead.
Maybe we'll just make this a long one.
Okay.
Instead of 2 different ones.
Yeah.
All right, answer his question, and then mine will be, what is your top 3 favorite bands of all time?
Okay. I guess for yours, because that's an in-depth question.
He's talking about my question.
Sorry. For Roddy's question, what bands have changed the way I view music?
View or listen to?
Wow. I think with a question like that, I have to think of genre.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a band. It can just be a genre. It can be...
Well, bands, but because of the genre they're in.
Okay.
So, like, I liked heavy metal for a really long time. Slipknot is, like, my favorite, right? And I thought metal is this. So in the metal world, there's an album right there with that girl. Just like the silhouette kind of. That album's called Jane Doe by a metal band called Converge. They changed my perception of what metal can be. People who love Slipknot and want to stay in that metal world would listen to that and not like it. It's really hard to understand the lyrics. The screaming isn't as loud as in Slipknot, so it's almost just part of the band instead of the thing that sings over top. The timing's out of control.
Like, what do you mean?
It's not things you're used to. Like with heavy metal and Slipknot, you can headbang like this, like you feel this, right? They're like,
so your head would just be.
Yes, it's very sporadic. It's like what they say, like a fine wine. Like it's an acquired taste.
Yep.
I didn't like it either until for some reason I did. Like
it just took happened. A couple listens and all of a sudden it clicked.
Yes, I think it's going to be tough for me to think of 5 bands.
You don't need now. 5. I whatever bands you think that.
But I just think like that's a good example.
Yeah.
When people push the envelope, I think Daft Punk, and we're going to get to them later. But to answer this question using Daft Punk, they're an electronic group, 2 guys making electronic music. They changed everything. No one does electronic music like them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fathom writing music the way they do, ever. My brain won't work like that.
Well, don't they have every note from like almost everything that they have individually, and they can change, like, isn't that the case?
Yeah. Their music is put under a microscope that they create.
That's cool, though.
They're the sample kings. They use samples that you'd never even know. And I don't know why, but they do. They'll take a clip from a song that they like, but it's like a 3-second clip.
And it's not even like the most important part of the song.
Not even. And then they'll change the clip into a different key and a different speed. And all of a sudden, you have something different. And then they write their own words on top of that.
So it's sampling, but in the most absurd way.
Absurd. So I just think, I don't know. They are a band, I would say, for that genre.
Yep. What about, I know you were talking about this earlier, but that group that is very similar to the Moonlight Community that created their own word for their genre.
That's a brand new thing for me. This is a group called Tally Hall. They're from Michigan. And they are kind of like Moonlight. They play a lot of different genres. The only difference is Moonlight has some hard rock, some metal, whereas they have like island sounding songs. But both bands just go all over the place. Because I mean, Moonlight Community, we have like a 50s doo-wop song, and we have a power ballad, and we have a funk song, and we have metal, and we have country. I mean, we have rap, we have hip hop.
Yeah, pop. Yep.
Whereas Tally Hall has like alternative rock and like calypso and island music and like just cool stuff, like French accordion music, like whatever.
Yeah.
But they kind of beat us to the punch because they just named a new genre. They were sick of trying to explain what they were, because when you say, well, we play everything, well, every band says that.
Yep.
It's hard to explain. Well, maybe it is. They just said their new genre is called Fablu.
Fablu.
Oh, what genre are you guys? Fablu? Nice. What's that like?
Yeah. Then they can, what question do you ask after that? Well, I mean, there's lots of questions. Like, that raises more questions.
Yeah, but at that point, they can just say whatever it is you want it to be, bro.
However you interpret it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because in my mind, I picture something just random, and that's exactly what it is.
Yes, exactly. I think one last thing I'll say on that question, though, is I like when I find a band and I hear something and it sounds so not radio. Not anything against the radio or people who are on the radio or people who like to listen to the radio. When I hear something that's like, whoa, that would never be on the radio. And not because it's inappropriate, but because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's too different.
That always piques my interest. And then if they can capture me with an album, I'm an album listener. That's old school. But I like an album. I like track 1 to track 12 or however many. I'm not a fan of playlists at all. I do not like shuffle. I like albums. So you guys were talking at the beginning of the segment when I asked you about music. You said it takes you to a place. I don't even want a song to take me to a place. I want an album. They're like short movies.
Yeah, you want to be there for 45 minutes to
they're
an
like
hour.
short movies. They're like anywhere from 30 minutes to 70 minutes. And I want to be there. But that makes picking bands for me pickier and more critiquing.
It's hard to find a full good album.
And that's why you got to search.
Yeah.
But also, I've listened to so many albums that I know the first round of any album, it's not your favorite album yet.
So you have to have multiple listens to each album.
Yeah, but you can get this spark. Like, oh, that's got some potential. Mostly it's if they don't have any bad songs. I hate fat and filler songs.
Yeah.
I want all the songs to be good and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll go into, you said top 3 favorite bands of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not to be anticlimactic, but I got to start with number 1 because it's easy. The best favorite band is Daft Punk. I've said it for over 10 years.
Wow.
They're the best. And they're not raw, which I love raw. Because my second favorite band, I'll get to that, is Bare Bones Raw.
Mm-hmm.
But Daft Punk...
Is that their name, Bare Bones Raw?
Daft Punk just changed everything with their newest and final album, Random Access Memories, from 2012.
That is an insane album.
Or not 2012, I'm sorry, 2013 or 2014. We were living in the apartment. It's just the best.
It is amazing to listen to and just to kind of get you, like, it brings me to a different world.
Yes.
Different universe.
It's a different universe. It is warm. It's positive. It has a great message throughout. And because they're electronic, I feel like they can make some sounds that, like, drill into your brain. More so than whatever you've heard. However, saying all that, there is real music in there. All the drum samples are from a drummer. This is not a drum machine. All of the guitar is played by Nile Rodgers. He played for David Bowie. He played for Duran Duran. I'm sure there's others I'm forgetting right now.
Are these people good? Or is that...
And they wanted him. That's the guitar they wanted for the album, and they got him. They got the lead singer from The Strokes.
That's sick. To
do a song. Of course, Pharrell. Those are the 2 songs that everyone knows from that album.
Yep.
Is Lose Yourself to Dance. That's Pharrell. And of course, Get Lucky.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest track from the album. And those are both Pharrell. They needed that. It's a funk album done with sampling and electronic music by 2 robots. It's all there is to it. It's long and it's beautiful. And I just think that they're perfect. I also love the allure of bands. That's why that new band you were talking about, Tally Hall,
yep.
I'm excited that I found them. There's not enough allure to them for me to just fall madly in love like I did with Daft Punk.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Daft Punk, like, there's so much to them, like...
They're so secretive.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. Of course, people know what they look like, okay?
Yeah.
But that's a bummer, because they're not out there posing without their helmets. It's just paparazzi photos. But there's been enough, okay, we know what they look like. But with their choice, they choose to be masked.
Yep.
They're extremely famous.
Yeah.
But for the most part, even with the paparazzi photos, I bet if you guys saw them on the street, you wouldn't know it's them.
No, I
wouldn't.
To be that famous and to make that good of music. At the Grammys for that album, they were up for 9 Grammys. They won all of them. They swept the house.
That's insane.
Cleaned house or whatever. And they're robots. They stay concealed. They don't want fame. They want beautiful music to be given to the world.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. All right, number 2. Look this up, people. You might not like them. Neutral Milk Hotel.
Great. I love these guys.
They only have 2 albums out. One was in 94, one was in 96.
I don't know if I know this band.
They aren't famous.
No, well, it's crazy because they're not famous, but they were in a pretty famous TV show.
Yeah,
they were in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, there's not them. Their name.
No, yeah,
was
their name was mentioned, but it's crazy because like I knew of them through you, so I knew the references that they were making and everything. But it was just crazy because they used that band out of all the bands they could have used, and probably not a lot of people knew what they were doing. Mm-hmm. They just maybe thought that they made it up because Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's a weird thing.
I just love them. They're my number 2 band. I always think about how they probably are number 1. But I just have to say Daft Punk. I don't know why. Maybe one day I'll change. But
what genre are they in?
Indie.
Okay.
Fablu.
No, not Fablu, just because they don't change their genre.
Yeah.
They're indie. But they're from 94 and 96 are the 2 albums. And they're just mysterious. The album from 94 is Weird. And then the album from 96 is In the Aeroplane Over the Sea.
Which is the one that I know more.
Yep. So the album's called In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. The 3rd track is called In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. So it's the title track. That song has my favorite lyric ever written in that. I get goosebumps every time I've listened to it, which is definitely over 1,000 times.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. The lyric is, I'm trying to think if I should do the whole thing.
Why not? Just do it.
Okay, so he goes, "What a beautiful face I have found in this place that is circling all round the sun. And when we meet on a cloud, I'll be laughing out loud. I'll be laughing at everyone I see. Can't believe how strange it is to be anything at all."
That last part is cool. It gives you chills.
It's the best thing I've ever heard. So anyway, that album, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, that band, it's raw. Some songs don't have any drums. It's just an acoustic guitar and Jeff Mangum, the lead singer, singing. He's not that great of a singer. And I love it. He's kind of whiny, kind of annoying, sometimes off time, sometimes off key. And I love it because it's raw and he needed to make that music. He just needed to make it. It doesn't matter about talent. Mm-hmm. It matters about art and it matters about emotion. And that entire album is filled with emotion. And they're also kind of strange. They're indie, but it's all mostly acoustic guitar. Sometimes they put effects on the guitar, but not really. There's not guitar solos. This is like singer-songwriter style. The songs that have drums, that's fine. They have a saw player, like a saw that you cut lumber with.
Yeah.
If you bend a saw and play it with a violin bow, it makes sounds. So they have a saw player. And then they have some brass. They have a brass player, some horn players. I think maybe 1 or 2.
I actually think the saw is actually pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just cool. And it's the lyrics, and it's the emotion. And then last thing about this band, Neutral Milk Hotel. When that second album came out, they were starting to really get momentum nationwide. So they were offered an opening gig for the REM World Tour.
Which REM was...
At that time, they were massive.
Big.
Oh, yeah.
When they got the offer, the lead singer disappeared. He did not want to be famous. He didn't even want to be found because that wasn't the reason he made music.
He just wanted people to hear his music.
And he successfully disappeared. Like you'd see in a movie.
Has anybody
I think he's off the grid.
Off the grid. He came back.
Okay.
Just for one reunion tour, which I think our friend John Woodward got to go to. Oh. He at least told me about it. I don't know if he got in because this was, you better get in now type of thing. Because he's never probably doing it again.
Yeah. Talking about John Woodward, it's actually his birthday today.
It is.
Happy birthday, John.
Hey.
If you're listening, happy birthday. And I mean, I actually didn't reach out to him today, so I'm going to have to reach out to him after the podcast.
But he came back, and I just think that's almost the same reason I like Daft Punk. I love when people make music and they don't want attention. That's not their intention.
Mm-hmm.
They have this emotion that needs to come out. They love to share it with others. But we have created a society that if you're a good comedian or you're a good musician or a good athlete, you're just showered in praise, and you become something more than the fact that you are a human being with skin. You have to eat, you have to sleep. You're not a god.
Yeah. And I feel like that's hurting not only them, but it hurts music and comedy in general.
And it hurts people who have intentions. They want to make music to get the fame.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of times where you get an interview with a famous person, they're like, oh my God, I love being famous.
Mm-hmm.
I love having people crowd me when I'm trying to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh, I love not having privacy.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's crazy because then those people are now living fantasy worlds, right? They're in a world that nobody can relate to. And now they have to create music that people can relate to. How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
I can't remember what movie I watched, but there was a quote in it. Guy said that the guy that came up with the saying sex, drugs, and rock and roll had it all backwards.
Nice. I like that.
It should have been the other way around.
Rock and roll, drugs, and sex.
Yeah, that's a good quote. I like that.
Yeah. So then when I get to my third favorite band, though, that's when it starts becoming a little bit less passionate. Daft Punk and Neutral Milk Hotel are my life. They're me.
Okay.
What about the Moonlight Community? Are they? They're in the top. They're in the top for me.
That's great.
Okay.
I don't know if I can ever love them the way I love other bands because I'm in the process of creating with it.
That's true.
I wouldn't want to be in those other bands though. I want to be in my band
because
I love my bandmates and I love playing our music with each other. I don't want to be in Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yeah.
I want to listen to them. So that's a different. It's a different.
No, and I was just pulling your leg because I know.
But down the line, I love Foster the People. They don't get a lot of credit, but if you listen to their albums in full, all of their albums, dynamite, straight fire. I don't really like Coldplay a ton, but they have one album that is breathtakingly perfect called Viva La Vida. Phenomenal. Like I said, Coldplay, they're cool. Mm-hmm. Not a favorite band, but their album Viva La Vida, whoa, what happened there? It's just the best thing ever.
Well, yeah, because there's definitely a difference between having a good album and then...
I like Coldplay. A lot of people give them kind of a bad name.
It's kind of weird that they do, because I think if they're judging them from their radio hits, I will judge them too. Like, what are you guys doing, you weirdos?
Right.
What are you just making money tracks? Because their deep tracks are like, whoa, they're amazing. Okay, so they know exactly what they're doing. But then, I don't know, Foals, I'm just looking through the album finals here. Portugal the Man, Dillinger Escape Plan. I don't know. I really like bands a lot. Mm-hmm. I like everything. I could tell you bands I don't like. That's way easier.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, well, okay.
Name one.
U2.
Yeah, no, well,
really?
No, he's saying you two also name a band you don't like.
No, I'm saying the band.
Wow.
Dang, I didn't know that.
And it's not really anything personal. I truly don't like the music. It does not connect to me. It seems boring to me.
Yeah.
I like a few of their songs.
That might be somebody's favorite band.
If that's their favorite band and they have emotional connection, then that should be their favorite band.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my ears and my personal ears, my personal brain.
Yep.
I also don't like Weezer.
Yeah, that's crazy because
that one hurts.
I know a lot of people love Weezer. People you love Weezer.
I know.
That's crazy.
That one hurt me a little bit. I'm like, I love Weezer.
You're starting some controversy with both of those, I feel.
I like older Weezer. I like Buddy Holly and Hashpipe.
Yeah. Their old stuff was great when it first came out. It was the best.
That's crazy. Like when you say older, like they are older now than they were before. So do you mean you like them now?
Nope.
What's the third band that you don't?
No, I don't know. Those are just the two that I
always stick
have
out
at the ready because I have just realized I don't want to listen to that. However, I like both of those bands a billion times more than like the cookie cutter copy and paste music that you hear on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Like modern.
Yeah.
Because I like country a lot, but I don't like modern country. I like rock a lot, but I don't like modern rock. All these, it's like what I said, cookie cutter. It's just like there's a formula.
Yeah.
You don't feel any emotion. And also, it's all pop music. This is, again, my opinion. I don't want to make anybody upset.
No, that's okay. No,
but I think everything is pop. When I was growing up, oh my gosh, I'm old. But like when you listen to country, you're talking Garth Brooks, George Strait, Brooks and Dunn, Reba McEntire,
Alan Jackson.
I mean, but you could tell it was country because there was fiddles being played and acoustic guitar, some banjo. But you listen to country now, it is electronic music.
Dude, and they all sound the same.
It breaks my heart. Because just because the person sings country style
doesn't mean it's country.
Well, not anymore. When you put beats behind it, fake music. I can't believe that this happened.
Yeah. When do you think this like?
Yeah, but if you notice, like if you go to the Country Music Awards, the guys that are winning the awards are the closest guys to the old style country,
and rightfully so.
Yeah.
I think if you win an award, you should put effort into the creation.
Yeah. When do you think like that started? Do you think it was like, was there a decade that it happened? Was there a year that it happened?
I don't know. It just like somehow evolved that way, and I don't know why. I don't know how and why. I don't think it happened
overnight.
Yeah.
Corporate.
Yeah. Because I think Keith Urban kind of started to go that way, but he's awesome. You know? But I feel like that's about the time frame. Dierks Bentley.
Okay.
He's awesome too. It's just tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
All right. Well, this actually leads into my next question. So if you could open a show for any artist, who would it be and why? And let's open it up a little bit. Say this could be any decade. Like time isn't a factor. So if Moonlight were to,
well, that's the thing. I appreciate all older music, and I understand it, and I love the evolution of music. I'm like obsessed with timelines. I love Queen. I love Kiss. But my heart and my soul is with these newer bands that I'm talking about. Well, except for Neutral Milk Hotel, because that's 90s, but they seem timeless to me. If you go and listen to any Neutral Milk Hotel, you'll understand. When you listen to it, you're not thinking 96, you're not thinking 2021, you're not thinking 1904. It's so bizarre that it's just its own thing.
Yeah.
But I just like modern music because I'm younger, I guess. So when it comes to opening, I'm going to say someone. I think for fun, Slipknot. Because their crowd is awesome, and Slipknot was the best concert I've ever been to. They're just fun.
Yeah.
They control the crowd.
Could Moonlight open for them?
Heck yeah. That's the other thing. Moonlight, because of the way we play, we could open for anyone. If they're like, dude, Alan Jackson's in town, we need a band. We'd pick the right songs, because we have enough songs that would fit Alan Jackson. Same with Slipknot. We have enough. Yeah. We could open for Slipknot.
And that's why I asked the question.
That's why I popped that question in there, too, because I knew you guys could.
Yeah. I don't know. Foster the People would be cool because I would like to know him. We opened up for Fair to Midland. They're no longer a band, but that was fun because we got to meet them and they were cool guys. So I don't know. Oh, I know. I have an answer. After all this rambling, I have a real answer. Idols.
Oh, for sure it would be Idols.
Idols is a modern day punk band. They don't like being called punk because sometimes punk, you think like this. So anyway, I would like us to open for Idols. If you don't know Idols, look them up. They are the coolest guys ever because they seriously don't care about their image. I mean, they do, but not like, I don't know. Just look them up. They're so awesome.
Well, they just do what they want to do. They are, again, just genuinely them.
Yes. 100%. Idols. That's who I want to open up for.
So Idols, that sounds like, because that's the way Shan is. She's genuinely her. So you would marry Idols.
Yeah. Idols got to open up for Foo Fighters because of how genuine they are. They were at a festival with the Foo Fighters. Of course, Foo Fighters was like the headliner. Idols was just some tiny band, right? Well, a guy from the Foo Fighters, like, corporation, whatever, not the right word, but, family, was watching these bands, these little ones, just for fun. They saw Idols, and they're like, man, those guys are crazy. So they were like, hey, we're looking for an opening band for Foo Fighters. We like you. Would you be interested in that? They're like, we'll think about it. Because they didn't like Foo Fighters. Because Foo Fighters are popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be popular. They want to bring down establishment, whatever, whatever. So they talk about it, and then as a band, and they're like, maybe we should. Because then we can, mess around with all their fans. And we can say that we don't like the Foo Fighters on the world tour with the Foo Fighters.
That would...
So now they decided they do want to open, right? But they just got an invite to be one of them. So they haven't chosen one yet. So they say, how are we going to stick out? How are we going to get to the Foo Fighters? So they take a picture of their bass player in just his underwear, holding a notebook paper that says, pick idols for your opening band. They print that photo. They turn it into a puzzle. They send it in to get it made into a puzzle. They put the puzzle in a box, and they send it to the Foo Fighters.
Oh my God. That's just so...
That's sweet.
They
That's so
put it
creative.
together. They see the photo, and Dave Grohl, being a cool guy, says, those are the guys that are coming with us.
Yeah.
So they go on tour with them, and the Foo Fighters, they're popular. They're just like Coldplay. They don't really get shit on, though. But they're like Coldplay, and they're the leaders of their genre. It's going to be harder to ever be bigger than the Foo Fighters.
Right.
But they're cool. They just happen to be that big, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They worked at it and they got there.
Yeah.
So they had a blast on tour with each other. And Idols did what they said they were going to.
Yep.
They made fun of the Foo Fighters constantly on that tour.
But they just didn't care.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, okay, say what you want about it. We'll do it to you. I don't know. Did they do it to them too?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
They probably just had banter back and forth throughout the show. And
so there you go, folks.
That would be a fun show to go to.
There you go, folks. Look up Idols if you like punk. It's really cool. And their videos are awesome.
I liked them on Tiny Desk.
Oh my gosh. Start your Idols journey, folks, on Tiny Desk. Search Tiny Desk Idols. So much fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you can't not like it. It's amazing.
Nice.
Well, sweet. Well, I think that was good for the music section.
Absolutely.
That was great. Is there anything else you want to add before we get out of it, actually?
No, I think that was perfect.
Okay.
We touched on education. We touched on the history of me in music. And then...
and it's not like we're not going to have you on again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if there's something that comes to mind after this, we'll bring it up next episode. We'll add a question to it, either on the random part, or we'll just have another music episode with you. Or
Cool.
And if you guys out there have any questions that you want us to ask him, hit us up.
Yep.
It's getting to be that time of the night to where we put our dedication in for our favorite comedian.
Well, we're not going to do our favorite comedian.
Yeah, we're doing Josh's.
Yeah, every time we have a guest on, I want them to dedicate to their favorite comedian. Even if we've already done a dedication to them, I feel we're going to go more in depth. We're not going to be doing any lists anymore. We're just going to be doing a dedication for each episode. And again, when we have guests, they get a pick. When we don't have a guest, we're going to pick. I feel like it's fair, right?
So, Josh, who are you picking?
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. If you don't know who Norm Macdonald is, you need to do some Google research.
You've been living
now.
under a rock if you don't know who Norm is. That guy's hilarious. He's one of my faves.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be fun when you have guests on to hear all the different comedians. Because you guys like everyone because you're comedians.
Yep.
Just like we just did with music with me.
Yep.
But not everyone likes all the comedians.
Yep.
And I like quite a bit, but I have my genre, my favorite genres. And Norm hits every box for me. His clean comedy, super hilarious. And his dirty comedy it's hard to be dirtier than him because he's relentless.
Yeah, it's crazy because he'll say one joke that's completely clean. Everybody, it's good for the whole family. And all of a sudden he is just, okay, wait.
Yeah.
What?
Super dirty.
Yeah.
He can destroy better than anybody I know a heckler.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He can just destroy a heckler real quick.
But Norm's just cool, man. His voice is hilarious alone. I love his voice.
Yeah.
His delivery, his timing, and his knowledge of comedy. He's a comedic historian.
He's a comedian nerd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that's the word that I hear going around all the time. Like, that's what Pete Holmes calls himself. He's just a comedy nerd, where he knows everything and everything there is to know about comedy, and if he doesn't, well, he's gonna learn it because that's their passion.
Him and Tracy Morgan are my top two, and I think they're actually the same type of comedian. Because Tracy does really clean jokes that are hilarious, and then he can get really dirty. Those are my two guys. And then I just had to say this. I know that Trey Parker and Matt Stone aren't stand-up comics, but I think they're the two funniest people on planet Earth.
Yes, that is a very good statement. I know they're not stand-up, they're not traditional, but they are. They've done movies, they've done South Park, they've done.
They're comedic. They're comedians.
Yeah, they're
comedic writers.
Yes. Yep.
Stand-up, Norm and Tracy, but Norm right on top.
Yep.
But yeah. Trey Parker and Matt Stone. So I did a double dedication.
You can do as many as you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just because I had to say that, just the last little bit of my personality. I think South Park's the best show ever, and I think those guys are perfect.
Dude, Basketball was one of the best movies of all time.
Yep. Team America.
Anything you want to plug?
Well, we kind of plugged it already, but check out the Moonlight Community. That's my band. You're going to hear the other band members on this podcast eventually.
Oh, all of them.
Moonlight Community. We have 2 albums out on Spotify. They're both great. The Gateway was first. Anine was second. We also have 1 single that's on Spotify called Minnesota Nice. It's not on either album. It's just a track by itself about Minnesota. Cute little song.
Very summery.
Very summery. Yeah. Yep. And that's about it. I mean, if you want to come see the Moonlight Community...
You got a website?
Well, yeah, themoonlightcommunity.com.
Yeah, this might be after the show.
Never mind. Go to themoonlightcommunity.com. If you want to see us live, there'll be things on there. Of course, Facebook, the Moonlight Community, YouTube. We have 4 music videos on YouTube. Check them out.
If you see there's a live show, come check it out.
Yep.
You're probably going to see me there. I'll most likely be at that show.
Yep. We're really, really good live. Our albums are awesome, and we're proud of them. And the genres we go in and out of, we're very proud of. But we're a live band.
Yeah, you guys kill it live.
We are dedicated to live music. We're crazy.
Yep.
If the song is soft and slow, we move soft and slow. But if we have a heavy song, we're throwing our bodies in every direction.
Yeah.
And it's all 5.
Yes.
I mean, it's a spectacle. And it's fun, too. We try to get the crowd interacting. We'll hang out afterwards. So, yeah, if you liked this, check out our music, check out our videos, check out our website. Basically, if you just type in themoonlightcommunity.com and Google, or not .com, just the Moonlight Community, all of our resources come up. So.
Yep. And if you guys feel like you want to book them, you can contact me on our Facebook and stuff too. I have connections. Obviously, I live with one of the Moonlight Community members, so I can
just anywhere, man. Yep.
Reach out, do a live show at your wedding.
Live. You got to see him live, and you got to see him live just to watch Josh on stage.
Yep.
Josh is all over. Usually, you see a bass guitarist just standing there. Not Josh.
Nope.
One of my favorite things is just watching Josh once he's in the zone and he's just looking at AJ. he's just looking at him, just staring him down, and then they just kind of go at it. It's fun.
Yeah. All right, that was a great episode. You can check us out at what's our website?
www.thestupidestpodcast. I don't remember the rest.
Com.
That's what it was.
Check us out. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We are on YouTube now. Go like, comment, subscribe.
Text us.
Absolutely.
I don't have my number out there, but if you know me,
text me. Don't text me.
You can text me. I might not text back.
You can comment. I'll reply to your comments. So
yeah, he'll get a hold of you on contacts. I'm not very good at that on social media, so I'll try to get to you, but texting is way easier for me if you know who I am.
Josh, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. That was a great episode. Again, if you are into music, we're probably going to have more music on here. We're going to have Josh on here again. He's probably going to talk about other other topics and stuff like that. I think he's going to be a comeback for sure.
Oh yeah, he'll be a regular.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Have a good one.
Bye.